Full sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he.
I don't think that's ever true. I'm pretty sure it was never you and me in the night.
Wasn't it?
Actually, maybe a couple.
Well, I mean, Sean was there.
Yeah. That was the night show that I remember.
But when Sean and you were both there, Sean was never in the room with me.
No.
Yeah. So what were you doing?
No, I was in the room with him. I was screening phone calls.
Back when we had a staff.
Mm-hmm.
Literally had somebody there to screen phone calls.
I would screen phone calls. I'd get audio for the show.
Yeah.
That would be very helpful.
Yeah. That would be incredibly helpful. You would think as...
Go and get your cigarettes.
That's right. What's the rest of the story on that, though? Because
you let me keep the change.
Thank you. And it wasn't like 80
Which
cents.
I would also take with me.
Yeah.
I would also like, hey, can you go grab me some food and get whatever you want for yourself?
Yes. Let's be fair. And I think there were maybe, you may or may not remember this, there might have been, in all the years we worked at on the night show, there might have been, I think, 2, maybe 3 instances where I asked you to get me water. And it was always because I was like literally choking or something was wrong. And I would be like super apologetic because I was an intern. And I think if you served as an intern ever,
I believe as an intern, what I would do is get the water for you before you even came to the studio.
I think you did a lot. I think you did. No, that sounds right.
And to be fair, you didn't ask for that.
No, but you know, anticipation, that's part of the deal. And you know, you talk a lot. Now, you know, I always have something with me, but if you serve as an intern, I think you treat interns better.
Definitely. It depends.
Well, if you're a decent person and you serve as an intern.
I will not say the person's name, but the person that I remember when I was an intern, he would just crap on us. And like, it was like, he saw it as trying to think of the word, like almost hazing. Like also you have to prove yourself type of thing. And like not realizing that if you're an intern, you're trying to get a job and you are doing a job.
Cover your mouth and tell me in my ear who it is. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Him? I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
Oh, yeah. He was a jerk. Yeah.
But hold on.
That's like when everyone's just like, oh, did you know he's in town? I'm like, screw him.
I think he was my intern so wait, my intern had an intern eventually?
Like when he would fill in. There's a couple of those.
Yeah.
And there's some weekend, like I think we used to have like a weekend football show. That was like a fun show.
Did you? So that's one of the first shows I worked on, but I don't know if it was the same one. It was the big show with Jason Ross and Steve Buzzard with Steve Goss running everything. I don't think you were.
No, I think it was really like Red Zone before Red Zone, because it would be, I want to say it was John Dickinson, and I want to say this person that shall not be named.
Yeah, okay. I think that came later. Because when I started, it was me and it might have been Joe Pittman and maybe just random interns that didn't stick around long. And there were like 3 prod rooms. This is in the old Madison building. And we would be in there with DATs, digital audio tapes, and they would be running on we would have different feeds from different games. So we'd be able to cover 3-4 games at a time, and we'd all be recording, and Jason and Steve would be on remote somewhere, usually at Bobby McGee's. God, Bobby McGee's. And when the whole job was, and in retrospect, it was actually kind of fun. The whole job was to sit in there and wait until there was a score. And if a team was in like the red zone or something, you'd yell back to guys, hey, we're in the red zone, prepare. And then it would score. You'd wait for the call to end, the play-by-play call. And then your job was to cue it back, make sure it was ready for the start of the play. You'd literally run down the hall, toss the tape to Goss. Goss would say in the IFB, which is the mic that the guys on the remote can hear, but you guys can't hear listening. Hey, we've got Maurice Jones-Drew 8-yard touchdown Jags. And Jason, they'd play the stinger. We've got a scoring update in Jacksonville. And then Goss would roll the tape. And then it was one of those real-time goofy things that would never happen now.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
We didn't have tape, so it was all digital at the time I started.
Yeah, it's a lot different now. And honestly, I don't know. I mean, maybe it exists on like Sirius or something. I don't know about it, but I feel like a show like that would still, with everybody playing fantasy football, if you're not at home, just rolling around listening, I'd want to listen to a show like that.
Yeah. I
think the problem is that most people who play fantasy football and are not home more than likely have their phones on red zone. Now,
maybe sell it as like hey, do you not want to get in a car accident?
Right. But back in night times, I don't remember. Maybe I did. I just don't remember stressing out about summertime like I do now. And I think part of that,
I think because most of the shows are like summertime already.
That's exactly right. It was a different thing. It was a different type of, it was a much different type of pressure. God, it was, because there was none. The boss, Mike Ramey, who Jason was talking about last week, celebrating his 30th here. Mike, the night show was like talent development, if you will, the bullpen, where everybody, you shoved everybody in the night show and tried to develop them for when somebody else would leave. And this was back when hosts, we didn't change lineups forever. It was Rise guys into Jim Rome, into Don and Mike, into Grant, or Grant and Mike, and Coase, and then the night show. And that was that way probably for a decade?
Easily. Like throughout my entire school, that's what I remember it was.
That's the line. It's a great lineup. Speaking of the guy you were talking, I don't want to give it away, but the guy you were talking about, that we won't mention. Because I actually love the guy, which is hilarious.
Everybody does.
I know. But I get why you don't, and I support why you don't. But one of the funniest things he was ever was it was the Mike Lamoff.
I do remember that.
It was him, and who was the other guy?
Timmy.
Timmy the intern. That's right. Timmy the intern becoming Timmy the postman. Yeah, we didn't, because I would, 9:00 was when we started. You roll in, the end of the show, maybe crosstalk with Coase and Jason. And
then it sometimes lasts like a half hour.
It would just roll, which I was a fan of. Stay as long as you want. And my notes for the show would be, I'd sit down and be like, I have 5 ideas. Let's write them down in bullet points on a Post-it or something. And we were lucky if I had 5 ideas, we were lucky if we got to all 5. And that's where it would be like, that's where we got into things like candy brackets and cereal brackets. I mean, brackets were our friends. And God knows what else we did. The
one I remember before I started actually working with you was you guys did, it was poker became a big thing. and you guys were doing hands of poker on the radio. It was just terrible.
We would try things. That always, we talked about it recently, I think, but it was like when Sean Thomas and I had this Voice of the Valley. We had this bright idea. We just talked about this, about our football preview was going through every single game for the entire year and coming up with scores. So like,
seriously, like this wasn't a joke.
With no joking at all. Be like, week 1, Detroit at Arizona. Sean, what do you think? And we'd have like the NFL music in the background. Sean would be like, well, you know, Arizona, this, that, whatever. Yeah, 31-17 Arizona. Okay. And then like it keeps standings. I think we got to week, because like we were going to do that for the whole hour. There's a big NFL preview. We're going to preview every single game for the whole season. I think we might have gotten to week 3 or 4, and literally on the air, we're like, this is terrible. Let's just eject out of this whole thing. Which is like 3 weeks is you just discussed 45 games. Seriously. And that's how it was. It was like the music kept looping. We were just discussing games and being terrible at it. Oh God. But that was, that's where we tried stuff out, man. I mean, that's whether it was brackets. I think I'm the only show on the station that for a good solid 6 months, like we had live bands in every Thursday. Do you remember that? I don't remember that. Oh God, we would have a live band come in every Thursday in the 11 o'clock hour, and I would interview them, because I used to do when I was at Quad. I did Sounds of Sacramento on Sunday night for local bands, which was great because it was like the best time in Sacramento music history. Like Papa Roach, Deftones, Seven Standard, Zoppy, Simon Says, Snapdragon, like all these bands, many of which made it, would come in. And so I was like, I think that would work on sports radio in the summer. I mean, I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm just saying it was, you know, they literally would bring in their instruments and do like 3 acoustic songs while we're just sitting here on the air. And I think at one point, I think Mike Ramey was listening one night. I was like, hey, what the hell was that? TR saying, how long have I been at the station? I was thinking about this the other day because Jason just celebrated his 30th here. Next year is going to be my 25th because I started in 2000. But since Jason just celebrated his 30th, I would feel bad about celebrating my 25th because it's like copying him like a year later. I just celebrated my 15th. Did you really? Mm-hmm. Did you get something? Yeah. I've never gotten anything. You're supposed to be getting something. Like, there's that period. Do they like? That's the no. They do. They do. I've been told that they consider my tenure consecutive. Okay, but I don't think they do, because technically, when I was fired in 2012 for it was literally 14 months I was fired for. I think it started everything over. So I guess technically I've been here, 23 years. I don't know. I don't count that. I still feel like I was still working here even when I wasn't working here because that stupid podcast. I was still doing radio. Lastly, I know we got to go to break, but I don't care today because I'm going to fill time. I just want to say a brief word about cramps. I know. Dude, it's so weird because I haven't had a cramp in a long time. Everyone's had a cramp when they're sleeping. Everyone's gone through that, I think. And last night, I reached into the fridge and there was a bottle of Gatorade in there. And I was like, oh, okay, I'll have a Gatorade. I haven't had one in a while. This is like at 9 o'clock. I was just thirsting for something. But apparently Gatorade now has like, they're 100% going after hangovers. It's like a Pedialyte. I think it's called Gator Light or something. Oh, yeah. And I took a sip out of it, and I've never knowingly tasted urine. That's what I think urine would taste like, with like if you took one of them Kool-Aid Tropical Punch concentrated drops and you put it in a glass of cold pee and you mixed it in. It tasted like I think urine would taste with a Tropical Punch flavoring. It was salty. It was just not what I expected at all. And the problem is I didn't figure that out until like my fourth full gulp of it. But the point is that I took this stuff that's specifically for like hydrating yourself. Mm-hmm. And then I woke up sometime in the middle of the night, and have you ever had the one where your calf is just hard as a rock and like one of your toes is pointed? Yeah, and it was so bad, I literally had to get up and like walk it off at 2 a.m. or whatever.
As a kid, I didn't know what was happening. So I just started yelling, help!
I mean, yeah, if you don't know what's going on and you have this massive, massive pain in your calf and it's hard as a rock and your toe is bent, yeah, you're like having a heart attack or something. I don't know what it is. Anyways, I don't know. Like, is it possible that stuff caused cramps and did the opposite thing? Because I had that last night, and cramps absolutely suck, dude. By the way, I know what that sounds like. I know I'm a guy sitting here bitching about. You know what I mean. All right, we'll take a break. Yeah, I don't think that's a Charlie horse. Mark says Charlie. It feels
it's like your calf. It's like just starts squeezing.
Yeah, it's like a baseball. But now today, my cat, like right now, I'm pressing on it. It feels like I got a Charlie horse there, but. I wouldn't wish. People say I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. I would wish that on, like, yeah, might really have a worst enemy, but I don't know why people say that. Yes, I would 100% wish a calf cramp in the middle of the night on my worst enemy. We'll take a break. When we come back, we had Vegas action last night. I was almost a baseball savant, and there's a weird thing coming out of Clipperland I want to talk about having to do with the Olympics. We're going to flip-flop some of the sound we got yesterday. For those of you who missed it in the morning, we're going to replay some of that for you. Switch some of that to later as well. It's Dave, it's Chris. Your phone calls, your texts at 916-339-1140. We're right back after this.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keon, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sacktown Sports and the Sacktown Sports app.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Kobe Jones matched up with Cody Williams. Puts him in the blender. Pulls it. Drills it.
That was well defended.
Hey. That wasn't Mark Jones, was it? Was that Mark?
No.
When he said puts him in the blender, that's a Mark line.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But then, okay, it didn't sound like him at all. That was Kobe Jones, who, excuse me, had a great night last night. And the Kings rebounded. I mean, literally they rebounded, but also rebounded from an opening loss in which Doug Christie was not happy. They win 82-70. Kobe Jones, 25 points and 6 boards. There were 3 Joneses in the starting lineup, which is kind of funny. Mason Jones with 13 and 9, and 19, 5 and 4 with a steal and 0 turnovers on 8 of 12 shooting for Drew Timme. It's going to happen, isn't it? It's really, he's getting a 2-way. Or other 2-ways already filled. He's getting a roster spot. They need frontline help. Drew Timme's 100% getting a roster spot. That's really, really lame. Adonis Arms slowing down a little bit. 5 points in 8 minutes to go with 2 boards. Let's see, per 32, that's 20 points, though. Hey, the weird one there was Keon Ellis, after really doing quite well over the summer so far, just 1 of 7, 2 points, 4 assists, 3 boards, and a steal, but he had 5 turnovers. So I love about Summer League, too, is that you can have 8 fouls, and it does not really matter. 8 fouls on the night for Keon Ellis. So what can you pull out of Summer League? I don't know. 23-9 was your score after 1. As a matter of fact, they built that lead. The halftime score was 48-25, and then I think they let off the gas a little bit the second half. They were outscored 45-34, still pulled out the 82-70 win to pull to 1-1. And we'll talk about it a little bit later. But, in the NBA, it's like, what are you really looking for from the Summer League? And obviously with Devin Carter out, the number one would be, well, we're looking to see how our first-round pick is. And I really would have loved to have seen him. Secondly, I think you're just looking for development. Especially of your familiar names, guys like Keon Ellis, guys like Colby Jones, who obviously had a great night last night. And then, it's also fun to look at the other teams as well. Like, Kyle Filikowski had 13 and 5 to go with a block. Nobody really stood out tremendously on the Jazz. And so you move on. They'll be in Vegas for a while. We'll continue to get sound. As a matter of fact, Kyle Draper and Whitey had, was it Colby Jones on yesterday?
Correct.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later. In the meantime, please, cut number 2.
Cut number 2.
Your winner of the 2024 Home Run Derby, Teoscar Hernandez outduels Bobby Witt Jr. to win it. The Dodger becomes the first LA Dodger to win the Home Run Derby. Teoscar Hernandez, the champion.
That was actually quite fun. That was, I credit where credit's due. I did see some people on social media saying, I don't understand the appeal of the Home Run Derby. I mean, to each their own, but just to watch these guys do this thing where you're, look, none of us are professional athletes, but I've swung a bat a few times in my life. I cannot imagine. You talk about, well, it's baseball, it's not really cardio focused. Dude, swinging that hard, that often, 40 pitches, and I think it was 3 minutes, 4 minutes. I think it was 3 minutes.
I can't even imagine just throwing the ball that many times.
Right. Hey, it's so funny. You're watching the pitchers throwing, and so much of really what it is. Here's one thing I don't understand about Home Run Derby. Like, there's 2 things I would do that I think would actually make it a lot better. Okay. Number 1, I'm going to go back to aluminum bats. I just think it's the one time you could actually do it.
I almost like it as you get a choice. Like
between aluminum and wood?
No, you get like, okay, at this moment for 30 seconds, you get an aluminum
I
bat.
don't mind that. Okay. Like in the bonus round, you get to pull out the aluminum, like the money balls. And okay, I like that. I think they should integrate aluminum. Just because we all want to see what major league hitters can do with aluminum bats. And you don't have to worry about killing a pitcher. You might kill one of the little kids out in the outfield, but whatever. The other thing I don't really get is, why don't they have a pitching machine out there?
As like you're starting to talk, I'm like, yeah, there should. Because that takes the like if out of it.
Totally. Like and it wouldn't be hard. You have the pitching machine, and then you have someone that knows how to run it. So you're switching batters, and Chris, I just finished batting, and Chris Verlaud's coming up, and you go up to the plate, and you're like, a little faster, a little slower, okay, little up, little outside, okay, that's where I like it, boom. And then you just have a guy dropping balls in there, because the thing that sucks is when you've got a dude in the Home Run Derby, and his pitcher is, I mean, how many times did we see it last night? Every round, there's like 5 pitches that just suck. It's human error. I take the human error out of that equation. Bring in a pitching machine, give bonus rounds for aluminum bats. But, dude, just to be able to do that, and then you have to go back and do it again, and then you have to, in this case, between Witt Hernandez do it one more time. I had picked Witt Jr. I was really getting excited that I was going to pull it off. He was this close.
A couple feet.
Hit the base of the wall.
The one thing I hate, because like they know what they're doing. Like the way they're showing that last ball, I'm like, oh, he crushed it. This is like way out.
Totally. How many times? Seriously, how many times I was watching with my wife and son, and there was probably like 3 or 4 times I just stopped because I was looking like an idiot in front of my kid. I'd be like, oh, that's gone. That's like, center field, some kid. By the way, some pretty good catches by some kids out there.
Yeah.
Also, not some great catches by some kids, but that's one of the more fun things to do. That'd be so cool to do that as a kid. You get to be in the outfield for the home run derby. I wonder how they choose them. Is it like you get good grades and you enter a pool?
It's got to be something like that.
Something like that. All right, cut number 3, please.
Cut number 3.
It was USAB's call, and I was, quite frankly, very disappointed with the decision. Kawhi wanted to play. We wanted him to play. I was there the first 2 practices. He looked very good. Participated, was a full participant in everything that they did. I wasn't there for the 3rd practice where ultimately that was the point where they decided to go in a different direction. I expressed to them, I really wish that they would have given Kawhi more time. We have the benefit of having been around Kawhi for 5 years to see his body and see where he's at. He looked good to me. I know all the sacrifices he made in order to make this commitment to the Olympics. So it was very disappointing. Now, with that being said, I understand from USAB's perspective that they have to look what they feel is in the best interest of the team, despite what I think. They're also managing some other players who are dealing with injuries, so I understand that they have to do what's best.
This one has me a little perplexed. And look, normally I'm always going to defer to the professionals that know the things about the deals. But Kawhi Leonard is 33 years old. Kawhi Leonard no longer has Paul George on his team. And Kawhi Leonard actually played 68 games last year, which is pretty damn good for him considering his previous years. He played 52 the year before, did not play the entire season before that. And then 52, 57, 9. Like, he played quite a few games over the first 6 seasons of his career, but Kawhi Leonard has had some serious lower body injuries. I don't even know why, if you're a Clippers executive, why in God's name do you want him in the Olympics? What does that do for your team? The Olympics are not paying him. Kawhi Leonard's a phenomenal player, obviously, one of the greatest of all time, but Kawhi Leonard is not going to be the difference as to whether or not they win a gold medal. I don't get that.
If Kawhi Leonard was a Sacramento King, how would you feel about him not going?
I would be pissed if he was going.
Yes.
And I always try to defer, like with Fox and Sabonis and all that. Hey, I get it. I want them to be able to do, like, I hate it as a Kings fan being selfish, but I don't want to be selfish. But if one of my Kings players was oftentimes injured and was the whole show, if Sabonis was constantly fighting like lower leg injuries every year, and he's going to go put miles on during the Olympics and not take the year off and wrap himself in bubble wrap or summer off, dude, I'd be super pissed. And now you have Lawrence Frank going out and being like, why wouldn't you have him?
That's what it makes me think of, just like, oh no, like, no, this isn't us. Like, oh man.
Total dude. And like the fact that the Olympic team sees something wrong with him or not right, and you're his team, you're like, no, keep him, play him. And part of me is cynical and goes, yeah, he didn't believe any of this. Yeah. He's just having, it's like when a manager gets run, he's just trying to have his guys back, but just really stupid. We'll take a break. When we come back, what stood out from Summer League, what's going on around the NBA as well. and a lot more. We'll get to the Home Run Derby a little bit later. Also, Doug Christie will replay that, and Keon Ellis around 7 a.m. Monty later on in the show. Colby Jones from Whitey, Kyle a little bit later as well. We'll get to all that right after this.
The only place you'll find Kevin Herter is Sacktown Sports.
Herter's open, steps into three. He's got the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Kevin Herter, and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. For your Tuesday, a pleasant start. Thanks to that Delta breeze, we're feeling it this morning. So we get into the afternoon, that breeze will be around under sunny skies. Highs today will peak in the lower 90s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you're in the market for a new car, shop Folsom Lake Kia. Low interest rates, low payments, and zero down deals with approval of credit. Folsom Lake Kia, over 25 years, right here in Folsom.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You go into your shower feeling... But as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our Protect Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carry-outs, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sacktown Sports.
916-339-1140 is your text line. I just checked it. It's a lot of people remember McGee's A lot of shouts on the text line about that. McGee's was awesome, dude. Seriously, if you know, you know. And I would say I probably watched more Sunday football. Oh gosh, probably at Players downstairs, meaning the one on Sunrise, than anywhere else. But dude, McGee's had TVs everywhere. And this is back before Sunday Ticket was really prevalent. And they would just pipe them in. But the best part is, God, I'm dating myself now, but God, I want to say it was like $10. You would get their breakfast buffet. And it was nothing special. It was a bunch of those big, hotel pans or whatever. And it was like, scrambled eggs, gravy, and biscuits, gravy, bacon, sausage, hash browns. I'm pretty sure that was it. And I want to say that whatever you were drinking was extra. Obviously, alcohol was extra, but juice, soda, whatever. But golly, I'm ignorant to this because I don't really go watch football outside of my home, and I haven't for a long time. But I just wonder: are there places? Are there any Sunday football buffets out there anymore? I'm a buffet guy. I'm a terrible buffet guy because weirdly enough, I can't eat a lot at one sitting, but I can graze. So if the first game starts at 10, usually the buffets go throughout the morning game. So it'd be like a 9 a.m. to 1 or 2 p.m. buffet.
What is this hotel right over here on Arden?
You're not talking about the Red Lion. That's there, right? You're
like the one, like if you get off the freeway and get right off.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name.
And that used to be the Raiders watch party. And
really?
I had a couple of friends over there, and they also had like a buffet part of the hotel. And one of the perks was you would get like $10 off. And you would be able to take it to where you're watching it in like the bar area. You wouldn't have to do it in the buffet area. And that was pretty legit.
I wonder why that's not I know COVID hurt a lot of buffets, but there's something about football. It's like you go out in the morning, and I know if you drink, I don't drink. I know if you go out, start, mimosas, whatever, get a nice buzz on, head home. Of course, after you've sobered up.
Very much so.
Yeah, very much so. Uber. Please drive safely. But what a great time. You wake up, you get out there at 9. Everyone's probably hungover from the night before anyways. Everyone looks like they just woke up and they don't care. You're in your jersey. You meet your buddies. You grab a table early. The smell of, sausage and bacon and football. And then you sit there and you just chow all morning on this greasy food, which again, not being a big drinking guy, I get it. But it's like when I first went to England, I realized it all made sense that 90% of the cuisine over there is designed around curing hangovers.
It's like, what do I have in the cupboard to fill my stomach? And it doesn't have to match up
at all. It's all greasy.
I've got beans, eggs, mushrooms.
I got a tomato. Hey, let's grab some bacon, but don't cook it a lot.
At all.
Just parboil the bacon. We want it chewy. How can anybody it's all in fun. I don't argue with the people over there. We laugh about it, but I say to my friends over there when I'm there, like, how can you like this bacon more than now? I don't want my bacon burnt or anything, but I think the best is like, crunchy, but a little chew.
Yes.
In places.
Like you don't want to be able to just break it.
Yeah, 100%. But their bacon literally, it bends.
It's gray.
It is. It's like biting into bacon lunch meat. And I don't know that I've ever talked about this publicly, but it was about 4 years ago. I was literally a signature away from buying a sports bar, going in with a buddy, and was going to buy a sports bar in town, one that I used to frequent a lot, and it was changing ownership, and I'd always kind of had an eye on that as something if I ever wanted to get into that. And then in the end, it was like I'm never gonna be there at night. I don't have the time. There's no way I can put effort into it. And then when I met with another buddy who actually owns bar, a good friend of mine, Scott Lacey, who owns Scotty's it's a place called Scotty's Hideaway, I think, in Orangevale, I think is what it's called. And he owns a couple bars, and he started talking to me about like liability, people getting hammered and fights and all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen. You know, you're sitting there sleeping. I got the morning show. I got a call at midnight. There was a giant brawl, God forbid, some sort of weapon, like all this crazy stuff that bar owners have to deal with. I was like, I'm good. But I always thought if I ever owned a bar, first off, it would be like all King stuff, right? 100%. But then also, I would always have a Sunday buffet. And I don't understand, like, is it a loss? Because you got to think buffets now, you could charge what, like $15-20? I would think, right? And you're talking like bacon, sausage. You got to have biscuits and gravy. Any buffet I do's got to have biscuits and gravy. And then hash browns, which is potatoes, eggs. What are you really spending? I mean, I'm not saying that doesn't cost any money. I just feel like it doesn't cost a lot of money. And then they're just drinking on top of that. Yeehaw. Have a couple pinball machines, some darts.
Now we're talking.
Let's see. We'll go real quick to the YouTube chat. Hello, everybody in the YouTube. Hello, Earl and Camp and Mark and everybody. Oh, here we go. Jason must be gone because here come the random questions, which I do welcome, by the way. What kind of deodorant do you think Carmichael Dave uses? Carmichael Dove. That's a great guess, Tim. Brute. Menon. Isn't that a company?
Yeah.
By
Menon. Costanza.
You know what? It's a boring answer. I use the forever. I use the it's a Gillette, and it's this clear gel. But I know, right? I know why you just winced, because you're thinking you have greasy armpits all day, right? There's something about this gel. It dries within like a minute, and I never sweat. I mean, I sweat, but I never sweat in my arms at all. Like it's the one deal I searched far and wide. I don't like Old Spice or Speed Stick. Like, I feel like you smell like that all day. I don't want to smell like that. I'm not Sean Cunningham when it comes to colognes, but there's three colognes I have that I will occasionally wear, and they last forever. It's how do you pronounce it? It's the one with Johnny Depp. My sister got it for me. Savage.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen the commercial 100 times. Like, I'm not paying attention to it.
Yeah, exactly. There's one called Oud Wood by Tom Ford. It's OUD and then Wood by Tom Ford, which I honestly, this is how stupid I am. I only knew Tom Ford from the Jay-Z song. I didn't know what he was. I didn't know he did colognes. And Burberry. I don't even know what they are. I mean, I don't
just know the scarves.
Right. And I don't own a single Burberry thing. I don't know what people do when they cologne shop, but I just sniff. That's all I do. I have no idea what a good cologne or a bad cologne or a high quality cologne. I know that I think Eau de Toilette is the one that lasts less, and then Eau de Parfum is the one that lasts longer and it's more expensive. That's the extent of my cologne.
No idea.
That is the extent of my cologne knowledge. Also, I don't trust people that wear a lot of cologne, because what do you hide?
My favorite, which they don't make anymore, was the Michael Jordan cologne.
I don't even remember that. Really?
That's just what you would get when you're like, I think every kid around my age, like 8th grade, got that.
Did you ever go through a Drakkar Noir phase?
No.
What about a Jupe or a Yoop phase? The pink bottle?
No.
Ralph Lauren Polo?
I had Eternity for a bit.
Okay, I've heard good things about Eternity. We'll take a break. When we come back, Safer Out We got Home Run Derby edition. Also midseason grades as well for our local teams. We'll replay the Doug Christie interview, maybe Keon Ellis at 7 a.m. We'll see how we feel. But in the meantime, I'm going to, as I do every day, talk to you about second opinions, baby. Yes, that's right. Second opinions. When you're dealing with something as important and as expensive as an HVAC system, you don't know what the hell's going on, man. Nobody knows that. You can have somebody come out and be like, well, this is your thing is blah, blah, and it's going to cost you. You're going to go, oh, well, that's too high. It might sound high, but maybe it's a great price. Unless you've been in the business, you don't know. And that's why it's so simple when you're making a big purchase like that. Don't just listen to the first person. And by the way, American Energy not only wants to be your second opinion partner, but also turnabout's fair play. If you go to American Energy first and you want to go get a second opinion after that, hey, fine. They ain't scared because they're not trying to gouge you. They're trying to give you the best deal possible because they want your business back again and again and again and again. That's how you build a clientele. All it takes is one or two people that get screwed, and then they tell their 40 people, and then they tell 40 people, and next thing you know, it's don't use that company. That's why American Energy's managed to be around since 1981 with an A+ from the Better Business Bureau. There's a reason for that, because they do good work and they take care of you. Just like they take care of me. They took care of my mother-in-law in Folsom when she needed help last summer. They took care of my dad a couple weeks ago. I don't just recommend it, man. We use it. We'll take a break. I'm sorry, Zebras, I just caught something Zebra said on the chat out of context. I'm going to spend the break trying to figure out what they're talking about. When we come back, safe or out, right after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? I won countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more, plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITBfest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy, Reuter, and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping? Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
Pop
Summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available in special financing, leasing, some other offers. Must trade in 2010 model year or newer in 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Safe or out? It's time to go around baseball. 3 pitches, 3 swings. It's safe or out on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
She's walking around on stage singing her song. I don't know how to say this and be classy about it. It wasn't a wardrobe malfunction. I think it was doing exactly what it was supposed to do. And so the film you saw, it was just right out there. And man, I feel so terrible. I felt so terrible for her, because this video is now going around of her walking around singing her song, and is right there for everyone to see. But also, like, I was also angry for her. Like, how do you not have a manager, a stagehand? How does somebody not say, "Excuse me," but hello?
Well, I think it was more of if you're talking to her, you're looking her face to face.
Oh, because of the angle.
And when you don't realize it's a bad look when you're below.
Golly, man, you'd think somebody would have, even in the middle of the song, like, shut it down. All right, safer out. Question 1, please.
The home run derby was fun yesterday. Safer out. It's the most fun of the side quests in All-Star Weekend.
Okay, so what I mean by that is, like, I don't know enough about the hockey All-Star Weekend, but there's probably something really cool there. But, like, basketball has slam dunk contest, 3-point contest, skills competition. Then you have the home run derby, and then, I don't know, football has hit the thing with the thing.
Oh, it's all like flag football and dodgeball.
I feel like it's between basketball and I feel like it's between the home run derby. Let's say like the home run. Okay, which do you think is more fun, home run derby or slam dunk contest?
Home run derby.
But once upon a time, the slam dunk contest was like a marquee event.
Yes.
I agree with you, by the way. But like back in the day, whether it was Jordan versus Wilkins, Dominique, whether it was Vince Carter in 2000, Levine versus Gordon, when it's right, I think the slam dunk contest beats everything. But the problem is everything's been done. Although, who's the guy that was on the Lakers briefly that won the slam dunk contest a couple years ago? He's in the G League. Not Mac Miller, Mason McClung.
Yes.
Okay. Dude, he did a thing yesterday where I saw the clip yesterday. It's like he went up for a dunk and he's in the air. And then as he's at the top of being in the air, he bounces the ball on the ground. And the ball hits the ground, goes up while he's still in the air, and he dunks it. I'd never seen that before.
The thing with that, though, is he's basically a G leaguer.
Yes.
If you're going to go that route and just like no big names at all and possibly G leaguers, why don't you get these guys that are like,
I couldn't agree with you more.
Dunk contest masters.
I couldn't agree. I could not agree with you more. Hell, bring in the Dude Perfect guys and do like part of me says do a trick shot contest, but the problem with that is that the Dude Perfect guys probably do 1,000 tries at each one, so it'd just be really boring. I think the home run derby right now. I think that's safe. It is the most fun. Well, hold on. Home run derby 3-point contest.
I think home run derby is the most like the 3-point contest.
I agree with you. I think home run derby followed slightly by the 3-point contest, unless there's a Sacramento King involved, and then it's 3-point contest.
Everything is like turned around if there's a King involved.
100%. Question 2, please.
ESPN gave the Giants a C- in their mid-season grade. C for out. This is the right call.
I think it actually might be a little bit nice giving them a C-. But here's the thing. As much fun as it is to bag on the Giants this year because they're not great, they're not in a bad spot if things break their way. Robbie Ray looked phenomenal in his minor league start that I saw last week. I mean, looked really, really good. You hope they get Blake Snell back and healthy and going. And if Ray and Snell can come back and really give them, pun intended, a shot in the arm in the second half, look, they're 3 games under 500. And when you look at the wild card standings, they're 3 games out of the wild card. And the thing about why that matters is that when you've got, and they also have to figure out what the hell is going on with Camilo Duvall, but when you've got 3 potential frontline Cy Young candidate starters in Ray, Logan Webb, and Blake Snell, you can do a lot of damage in the playoffs. And if your hitting gets hot for a couple of weeks and that all coincides, that's how teams that suck during the regular season sneak into the wild card and compete for a World Series championship, which is not what I'm saying the Giants will do. I don't think they'll be a wild card team. What I'm saying is they have an opportunity. I would have given them a D, and part of it because of injuries. But I think the second half could be very bright for them if things break their way. Question 3, please.
Same question. The A's got a D, right call?
I mean, the problem with that is this. They're 37-61. Of course, I mean, you could argue that they should get an F. But here's the thing. Based on what they have to work with, you could make a massive argument that they've actually outdone what they should have done. I mean, Mason Miller's been great. And there have been some surprises on the hitting side. Here's just an example. Teoscar Hernandez won $1 million for winning the home run derby. Let's see. That $1 million, this is from my buddy Kyle. That $1 million is more than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That $1 million is more than 22 Oakland A's will make this season. Think about that. 22 Oakland A's will make under $1 million in the year of our Lord 2024 in Major League Baseball. So I actually would have probably given the A's a C. I can't believe they have 37 wins. We'll take a break. When we come back, you heard Doug Christie yesterday late in the show. We're going to switch for audiences. So Doug Christie with Jason Ross down in Vegas coming up next.
Can Mike Brown build on last season's Coach of the Year award? Can the Kings exceed 48 wins?
We will be better prepared to make the run that we expect to run come next playoff.
Tune into every Kings game this season on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino. Sacramento summertime heat is back. And of course, Cap Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, wants to invite everyone to soak up some air conditioning, still with the most variety of table games in the region. And as always, the best food, best service, and the best action, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. Capital Casino, of course, reminding everyone to please make sure you gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Quick Quack Car Wash takes the drama out of keeping your car clean.
Let's wash the car. Don't spray the hose inside the car.
Our convenient wash packages make it easy to get your car soaked, scrubbed, and on your way. Protect your car from sun, rain, and pollen with a ceramic duck wash, and get our in-wash light show and an unbeatable clean.
Oh, the kids filled the gas tank with water.
Of course they did. Quick Quack Car Wash. Come in today and get 25% off any wash.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and they have a special deal going right now just for you. Receive your first month's payment up to $1,500 on them on select new 2024 GLE vehicles, or the all-new E-Class now at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Rates begin at 1.99% APR on select certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Plus, you can always check out their other deals at mbofstockton.com or head on down I-5 to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton.
If you've been on the American River, it's uphill, it's downhill. There's trails everywhere that you can walk, and it just makes you happy. And I couldn't walk, and it was terrible. I was turning into a real crab. I went to the Good Feet store, and I tried on the arch supports. I could not believe that I was not in pain. I can walk, I can run, I can jump, I can do anything. My name's Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber, down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then
boom, with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
It's an interesting one. Just as long as you get the Doug Christie part right, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm watching you on Friday's game. Not the best game. We don't have to fully evaluate that game. But as a player, I watched you. Mistakes happen, but you guys are, I don't know if you're just marked. You just move on to the next.
Yeah.
There's stuff, it looks like it's eating you, a mistake as a coach. How come you can't get that as what's the difference as a player, as a coach for you?
That's an interesting.
If I made my sense there on that.
No, you totally did. It's an interesting question because I think there's a level of responsibility as a coach that it might not even be the right way to say it. It might be. I have to think on this one. That's a good question, man.
Because it does look like it wears on you as opposed to, okay, you turn it over as a player, you're like, on to the next. I'm moving on.
I'll say it this way. I have to establish who I am and what I'm going to tolerate. And that is unacceptable because that is mental and energy based. And I'm not down with that. Now, there are points, and I told them I need to be better for you. But when it comes to energy, I can't help you with that one. You got to help yourself. All the rest of it, if you're playing with the right energy and stuff. So the mistakes, like 31 turnovers, like the cousins of the poor game. You're not winning that one with 31 turnovers. And some of them are like fast break, off your foot, like and I will say this, I'll give the guys credit. The balls that we played with were like these sticky, almost rubber synthetic leather balls. Like, I guess they made a mistake. And because our balls are leather. Okay. So we'll see. Hopefully they switch that up. So, yeah, listen, no excuses. We have to be better. I have to be better for them. And, going forward, make sure that the way I want them to play, they have to be well rested. So I'm not going to kill them. It's more mental practices right now and execution and high level understanding of what happens when you see this.
Yeah. How about the challenge, whether you had 5 players with you in California Classic or here in Vegas, or 2 split squads and 25? How's that challenge for you when you've got just a lot of different people shuffling in and out?
Yeah, it's tough because there's a lot of different voices. Which now as a head coach, I understand that that's not a good thing. I would say it's a lot of shuffling around. Like, I don't know if this was the first time that's ever been done, but it was a tough one, and like if we had split into 2 teams and I just kept the team in Sacramento, it probably would have been a lot easier because I hadn't seen that team that showed up yesterday. So I was really stunned. Like, Memphis hit me as hard as they hit the guys. So that's a big deal. Is like everything's moving around. It's a lot of different voices. You got one coach talking to them in San Francisco. I'm talking to him in Sacramento. Then they leave. Then the team he had comes to me. They played fantastic. That was their A team. This was our second team, and they played at a really, really high level for me. So no complaints at all. But getting them all back together and then continuing to implement stuff. So you got all these different things, and they're not excuses. And like I told them, it's like, look, guys, the way you feel right now, this is how an NBA player feels. But the guy across from him is like the best player in the world. Figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking back to when you're at Pepperdine, when you're in the NBA, playing for Adelman, playing for all the different guys, coaching now in the league as a head coach for a few games with Mike Brown too. Like, whose voices do you hear when you're in a practice, when you're in a huddle, when you're film session? Like, who are you channeling? Or is there one?
Yeah, it's a weird combination. It's Pat Riley, Adelman, Coachy.
Oh,
wow.
That's a good list.
That is, it's a great list, but it's also like polars in a lot of ways, because there is a fiery side to me that is Pat Riley. There's a discipline side that is Pat Riley. There's a teaching side that is Coachy, and there is the continuity and togetherness that is Adelman, and try to bring all that together. Like I explained to them, like what I'm saying and the way I'm coming across, it's from love. Understand that. And I don't want to turn them off totally. I have to figure out the fine line of using bullets at certain times to get a point across, and then at other times backing up and trying to let them learn on their own. And that's the hard part, because as an ex-player, there are certain things that I see out there that I'm like, I mean, you should have that,
Right.
but not everybody does, and you gotta understand that.
How much, I mean, for Kings fans, they really want to see Devin Carter, not out of your control, out of his control. How much does that hurt you? Just, want to see what he can do.
Well, if you tune in, you see him. I mean, usually has a really nice hat on, good hair.
Really good hair.
Yeah. He's in a sling right now.
But you'd love to have him.
Oh my God, man! Like he is. I love my dogs, and he is definitely one. I don't know when that's going to be, but from the standpoint that it's good to have a player like that, and you know that once he gets right, he's going to bring everything that he has. I'm with it.
I know you're engrossed in this and you're working every day on these guys, but, adding Tamar, what you got coming back, how excited are you for the upcoming year?
I am. A lot of times everything is on paper, and it takes me to our team. Like, Dick Vitale used to always say, like, the all airport team and all these, right? So, like, you would see us walking and you'd be like, whatever. Yeah. But then once we get the ball, it's like, whoa, hold on, what happened? And that's what I want to see with us. Like, looking at the names and everything is one thing, but when they hit the floor together, what is the sacrifice and the continuity and all that stuff? That's the exciting part for me, and I'm thinking it's probably the exciting part for Kings fans as well.
I know you've wanted to do this. Has it been what you wanted to do, or what you thought coaching would be?
Not sleeping, stressing, lots of coffee, lots
That's
of
in your
film.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, it is, man. Like, I'm really having a good time. I am. I'm as much as you might see that is as much as I feel the pride to try to be the leader of men and send them out there. This is the pookity.
You can't let the secret out. That's how hard you worked on the show. Nonstop, endless hours, video, all that stuff.
Oddly enough, you did from radio. When I was doing pre and post in my son's closet, to pregame, to radio with you, to it, like, I've just kind of taken the same approach every time. It's like over prepare, and it makes me comfortable. Yeah. And if I don't, I feel like poop. Yeah. So I have to do it. It's like I got the OCD, DAA, ABDs, ABCs, all the alphabets. Yeah.
That's Jason Ross and Doug Christie, and I sneezed right at the end as that was cutting off. So as we said yesterday, we'll take a break here in a second. It really is good to hear Doug in his element. There was just no way, if he wanted to, Doug was not going to be a coach. It's in his blood. He's so damn smart. There's nobody in the league that's not going to respect Doug Christie. A lot of these guys grew up watching him play, and he was just one of those dudes that you just always, people throw the term dog around. He's a dog, but he wasn't a, how do you say it? He was a dog, but he wasn't like a D-bag about it. Like a lot of, like Dylan Brooks, you could argue he's a dog, but he's also a D-bag. Doug wasn't. Doug is the coolest guy in the world. But if you screwed with him or one of his teammates, he was like, yeah, not happening, as Rick Fox knows. Anthony Peeler was a dog, wasn't a D-bag. And he was a cool guy. But if you screwed with him, he would tell you about it, like Kevin Garnett very much knows. So he's going to be a head coach someday. That's for sure. We'll take a break, quick break, minute and a half. When we come back, 3 for Madness. What do you really look for in Summer League? What can you really, if anything, learn from it? Team USA and the offseason of the Knicks. continues. We'll be right back after this.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Granger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon. Always building.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for Madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
All right, wanted to get to this yesterday. We'll get to it today now. Coming up in the next segment, the conversation that I had over the weekend with some people, which is what defines a sport. And I'll explain more about that. Also at 7:43, yes, I'd like to apologize in advance for the 7:43 segment because we are going to talk about last night's national anthem. If you did not hear it, don't go listen. We'll play it for you. And I want to apologize for playing it for you. And I have 3 national anthems in mind. You could probably guess that could be the worst of all time at sporting events. A lot of people are saying this is the worst one ever. I don't know that I agree with that, but we're going to splinter your ears. It's always what you want to do on radio. We're going to splinter your ears and play you bits of each just to see which is which. Also at 8 a.m., we've got your text to win contest with our friends at Quick Quack. Today's code word is going to be talked about at 8 a.m. That's an inside joke. Oh, we'll get to that as well. In the meantime, it's Chris Verlot, 3 for Madness. Question 1.
What can you really learn from Summer League?
You know, we talked about it a little bit earlier. It's tough because every summer league, almost every summer league, you're going to have people that just go off and they look amazing. And like, it's almost like the NCAA Player of the Year. For every one that has a great NBA career, there's like 8 that don't. So if I were to give you like I'm looking right now, it's like historical NBA Summer League stats. The record for points in a Summer League game is 42 from Marcus Banks. But then second at 28 points is Donovan Mitchell. Then Cam Thomas, Damian Lillard, and Tyrese Maxey. So, okay, there's some names. Rebounds. The record holder twice at 14 rebounds, Cole Aldrich. He had a decent career. Kevin Love at 13.5. Again, these are averages. And then Malcolm Thomas and James Singleton. Donovan Mitchell holds the all-time steals record for average at 6 per game, followed by Scottie Pippen Jr., Shaquille Harrison, Justin Detman, and Jalen Clark. Finally, assists. Xavier Simpson averaged 10 assists. That's a record, followed by Lonzo Ball, Isaiah Stevens, Peyton Pritchard, and Marcus D. Williams. My point is, it just kind of depends on what you're looking for and who you're looking at. If it is a true blue rookie lottery pick and they're excelling in summer league, I think you can take a lot more from that than a 4th or 5th year pro who's struggling and trying to make a roster, who knows the game. He has a grown man's body and understands that he needs to get his shots up. Who was it? God, I remember being down there a few years ago. I think it was Mike James of the Lakers. He was playing on the Lakers Summer League team. And God dang, he looked amazing. He really, really, and the best player on the floor, both games I saw him in. And he ended up having he played in the NBA. There's nothing wrong with his career at all. I never want to sound disrespectful. But in comparison to what he did in Summer League, well, there really wasn't a ton of comparison. He didn't get into the NBA until he was 26 years old. And he ended up in Toronto when he turned 30. He averaged 20 points a game that year. He finished top 10 in the most improved player award. But this was a guy that like bounced around to multiple. I want to say he played for like 8 or 9 teams in his career. Ended up playing in Turkey. Ended up having a 12-year career in the NBA. But it was never. He wasn't the guy that he was in Summer League because it's just a different thing. So long answer. I think if it's a rookie, a true rookie, you pull a lot out of that, but just be careful and don't get too excited for the journeyman guys who understand how the game works. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Team USA struggled versus Australia. Are you worried?
No. I mean, that's what these games are for. That's what these games are for. And, it's not like they don't have NBA players. They do. You're going to see that. Dyson Daniels. Matthew Dellavedova is an assistant coach. Look at that. Dante Exum, Josh Giddey, Josh Green, Joe Ingles, Jock Landale, Patty Mills, Duop Reef. Now, look, those aren't, all household names, but there's some pretty darn good players in there, especially Dyson Daniels and Josh Giddey. Dante Exum had a bit of a comeback year last year. He's always had issues health-wise. King Sands will remember Duop Reef torching them from Portland. So on any given day, when you have all these pro players, you're going to have issues. But in the end, Team USA won. And I think once you get to, and maybe I'm being an arrogant American, but I'm trying not to. Just I'd be surprised if there were any games, if not maybe one, where the Team USA wasn't favored by at least double digits once they get to France. So no, I'm not entirely worried about that. Number 3, please.
Question 3.
The offseason of the Knicks continued with them signing Campaign to a 1-year deal. Are they your second best team in the NBA going into next year?
So yeah, Campaign isn't going to that doesn't guarantee them a championship or anything. But I think he signed a 1-year, like $3.1 million deal, something really, just another piece of depth. And the thing with the Knicks and depth is it's so damned important because of how Tom Thibodeau coaches them. It's almost like the way Thibodeau coaches the Knicks. It'd almost be better if it was hockey rules where you could just do full line changes. Which, by the way, I don't hate that idea for the NBA. He drives his guys into the ground. He plays them a ton of minutes. He plays them hard. The thing about that, though, especially if you are an opponent, is it's very difficult to maintain that pace for 48 minutes with them. But now, as of right now, they're going into next year with a starting lineup of Brunson and Bridges and Anunoby, Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Bridges, Anunoby, and Mitchell Robinson alone, that is 60% of your lineup plays plus, if not high level defense. And then you've got Josh Hart, who's, again, I say this way too many times, I think is the most underrated guard in the league. 6'4", averaged 9.5 points and 8.5 boards last year. Had multiple 2020 games. And now you add campaign into that. I still don't know what they're going to do. I'm fascinated to know what they're going to do with Julius Randle. I really, truly am. And I continue to keep my eye on that situation with Julius Randle to see if that's something the Sacramento Kings might kick the tires on. And before you freak out, he's got one more year left. It's a player option. We'll see if he opts in at $31 million, which means you'd have to go Kevin Huerter and somebody else to make it work. I wouldn't necessarily mind if there was a way they could work it out where it was, and I don't know how they could do that, by the way, because they'd have to come up with another $14 million on top of Kevin Huerter, and I don't think there's not a lot to do that with. I think they have a trade exception. Anyways, point is the Knicks can either plug in a guy like Julius Randle, who they missed at the end of the year, who not only averaged 24 points a game, but also just under 10 rebounds and 5 assists. There aren't a lot of guys that do that. And I understand the knocks on Julius Randle, and they're valid. But for a team like the Knicks to either be able to add him back into the mix healthy or trade him and either replenish draft assets, grab another couple rotational pieces, or both, it's one of those, the rich get richer. Are they my second best team in the NBA going into next year? I think they are. I do. They're right there. I think they're the second best team in the East behind Boston. I don't think they're particularly far off of Boston, to be honest, top to bottom. I think Boston has the better starters. I think the Knicks have the better team, if that makes sense. And as always, injuries matter if they're healthy. But I look at the Knicks and I look at the West. I think they're better than Oklahoma City. I think they're better than Minnesota. And I need to see something out of Denver, who has not had a good offseason. So, yeah, look, even if they're not the second best, I think they're a top 5 team. And I think a lot of teams are going to go into their games with the Knicks next year looking at Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson, possibly Julius Randle, and then, Jalen Brunson, who was 5th in MVP voting last year, I believe. That's one of those teams nobody wants to play the Knicks, man. That is not going to be fun for a lot of teams next year. And as a Kings fan, I hate it just because I just want the Kings to be good. But I have to admit, it's good for the NBA. It's good for basketball. And I'm not one of those big markets have to win, but it's New York. They've sucked forever. The Knicks have sucked forever. So it's kind of cool to see them rebuild that right way. We'll take a break.
Bing bong.
When we come back. All right. I'm going to take a conversation I had at the wedding I went to Saturday. I'm going to bring it onto the air. It started with Joey Chestnut and competitive eating and whether or not it's a sport. I want to have a conversation about this. What defines a sport? Also, 1-800-920-1140. 916-339-1140 is your text line. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back with that next.
Malik Monk plays here.
Started left, goes right, steps back, launches the 3. Nothing but net. Oh, that was just filthy. Oh, my, that was sweet.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
Imagine the most beautiful panoramic setting. Endless waves crashing on a beach, kids playing in the park. Now, right smack in the middle of your perfect picture, imagine just one piece of litter. It doesn't fit, does it? And it simply doesn't belong anywhere. Certainly not in California. Not even one piece. Good news? If we work together, we will change it all. Clean California. Zero litter is the goal. CleanCA.com.
A-Team #1.
What was I thinking?
Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now, Dierks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hart Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, I love you just the way Dasha, Kelsey Hart, and more. Plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITBfest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Reuter and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, more than 2,100 slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebate.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available in special financing. We see some other offers. Must pay in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carryouts, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
Hello to everybody in the YouTube chat. All the regulars, MCs, Zeebs, Ryan, AB, Derek, and everyone else I'm missing. Mark, Ron. Welcome in. Thank you. Appreciate you. Always. Derek just asked, are the Markkanen talks dead? And I assume he means with the Kings. Obviously, we don't know. We're not in the front office, but an educated guess would say yeah. Especially if you believe what the Jazz are asking from the Warriors for Markkanen. It ranges anywhere from Brandon Pajemski and like 4 firsts to Pajemski and Kuminga and Moody and a pick or two. I think the best way I would say it, because there is obviously a large market for Markkanen, number one. Number two, you're dealing with Danny Ainge. You're dealing with Danny Ainge, who is not a guy that gets fleeced. In fact, usually when he makes moves, more often than not, he fleeces the other team. If that's what if they're asking for anything close to that with the Warriors, and you never know what's true and what's hyperbole, then I would simply say this. I'm incredibly comfortable in saying that it would take Keegan Murray and at least 2 first-round picks to get Lauri Markkanen, who is on a 1 year left on his deal. Now, let's just assume you could re-sign him to a long-term deal. That just understand, Kings fans, that if you want Markkanen, I think Ainge's starting price would be Keegan Murray and 2 first-round picks. Maybe you could throw some very light top 4, top 1 protections. So, just to kind of answer that. You want Markkanen? I'd like Markkanen. You want to give up Keegan and 2 firsts? Because that's what it'll cost. It's going to hurt. You get a good player like that, it's going to hurt. All right, so I'm at this wedding on Saturday. It's about an hour to the wedding. And there's this bar area leading in. And there's a highlight of Joey Chestnut just smashing hot dogs at the whatever competitive eating thing they did. And there's about 5 older dudes I was sitting around. most of which I knew, a couple I didn't. And one of them said, "That's not a sport. That's ridiculous." And then I just, as oftentimes will happen, I don't try to engage. I just like listening to other people talk sports because that's what we do all day. It's fun to listen to people talk sports. And only one of the people in this group had any idea what I did for a living. So it's fun just to hear everybody go back and forth and just kind of listen. And then at one point, I mean, this guy was like really aggressively like, "It's not a sport." And then the contrarian kind of popped up in me, and I was like, well, yeah, you might be right. But what is a sport? It's got to be athletic. Okay. You got to, no, what do you say? I'm sorry. You got to sweat. I was like, all right, well, is golf a sport? Yes. Well, what if it's on a cool day? You're not sweating. Well, it takes what do you say? It takes elite ability to do what a golfer does. I said, I can't eat 50 hot dogs in a sitting. Can you? That's not an elite ability. It's not physical. Well, it's kind of physical. You don't have to train. Well, actually, about 2-3 days before the event, Joey Chestnut put out a video showing how he does a real-time, he's got a guy there timing him and counting. And he has a real-time run-through, a dress rehearsal. So I by the way, I'm not saying it is. I'm saying I think it's a conversation.
You hear the stories of Kobayashi expanding his stomach before competitions. It's like, oh my God.
Right. Like, ugh. So to start, I went into the old iPhone and I looked up the definition and I read it to everyone. I said, okay, so the definition of a sport is an activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. And by the way, if you're looking at the rundown, that's a weird, for some reason it printed where I could barely see it. Okay, so an activity involving physical exertion. That's a little misleading because what's physical exertion? Is bowling physical exertion? I mean, it's not cardio, but neither is golf. There's no cardio in golf. Now you're walking 18 holes, 4 days. And I would argue that walking 18 holes over 4 days in certain conditions, like the Texas Open or whatever in July, that can have a physical effect. Tiger Woods, for example, that's the toughest part for him is the walking part. Now, it's not track and field or anything, don't get me wrong. But what is the definition of physical exertion? Is it physical exertion for me to walk to the bathroom? Or is the spirit of physical exertion meaning like an anaerobic activity that puts your heart rate in a certain phase to where you're actually doing something athletic and that affects your cardiovascular system? I don't think there's a clear definition because I would say golf is absolutely a sport. It's not football, but the hand-eye coordination to be able to hit a golf ball, the pressure, the competition. You have equipment. What are you doing baseball? You're hitting a ball. What are you doing baseball? Well, you have to run and catch a ball sometimes in baseball. Sure. But what about the catcher? Is he not an athlete? I mean, occasionally, I guess, runs. Okay, what about bowling? Bowling's kind of like golf, just in the sense that you have a piece of equipment. It takes hand-eye coordination, and you're trying to accomplish a goal by a ball leaving your person to the target, whether it's a golf ball that you hit with a golf club or if it's a bowling ball that you're rolling towards pins. We've all been bowling and we've all seen professional bowlers. They are elite. We are not them. Many of us have golfed. We've seen professional golfers.
Where would you put pool?
It's a great question. Pool and darts are a totally different thing. Pool and darts are sort of golf and bowling. Anybody of any physical shape can play darts.
And we've seen it.
But holy crap, like the skill, the hand-eye coordination it takes to put a dart in a bullseye or in a triple 20 or a double 12, the pressure, your hands are shaking, maybe they're a little sweaty, you've got a crowd around you. Well, how is that not a sport? Camp says golf is a sport, competitive eating is not a sport. I mean, this is where I got into the conversation, because I actually think there's a better argument for competitive eating as a pure sport than there is for golf. And I love golf. I'm a golfer. I'm a crappy golfer, but I love golf. I watch golf all the time. I'm a huge golf fan. But I think the road to becoming a professional golfer versus the road to becoming a competitive eater, like being a competitive eater is something that is almost superhuman. You have to train for it. You have to be in shape for it. By the way, look at competitive eaters with a few exceptions. The craziest thing about them, they're thin.
The best in the world aren't like a huge guy.
They're
like,
tiny.
Oh, that guy can put some back.
I can't ever remember her name. I think she's from Japan. One of the best female professional eaters of all time. And I swear to God, dude, she's like 5'3", $105. And she's just like, what's her face? Just pounded 75 chicken wings in 5 minutes. What? I mean, they honestly have to train. They have to expand their stomach, esophagus, the whole thing. There's a whole deal that you can't just be like, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat 70 hot dogs. That's not how it works. And I would argue that the physical exertion that you have to go through as a competitive eater I'm talking about physical exertion. And that doesn't just cover cardio. I'm talking about the pushing your body to the limits. Far greater than golf, far greater than bowling, far greater than darts and pool, and a lot of other sports. You're literally trying to not choke to death while also not vomiting.
You're really fighting against your body.
Which, isn't that one of the epitomes of athletic performance, is pushing your body to world-class limits in a competitive atmosphere and challenging other people to do the same. And I would go a step further. I don't, unless I'm ignorant to this, and I very well could be, I don't think there's weight classes in competitive eating. I think there's male, female. In fact, I know there's male and female. I don't think there's weight classes. Oh yeah, that is my card. Hey, Pat found my key card. Hey, thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
My back pocket has a hole in it. This is a true story. Appreciate you, Pat, from the Pat, Tom, and Cody show. Now, what competitive eating doesn't do is it's not really a hand-eye coordination thing. You got to put the hot dog in your mouth.
You got to get the dog in the water.
I would say that it's almost the opposite of darts. In darts, there's like no physical exertion. It's all hand-eye coordination. Whereas in competitive eating, there's no hand-eye coordination, but it's all physical exertion. Is poker a sport? Is NASCAR a sport?
Gaming.
Like video gaming, like esports?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's literally in the title. It's not e-hobbies. But I look at NASCAR and I go, hold on a second. NASCAR's not a sport. You're using a piece of equipment to go fast. There's no exertion there whatsoever from a cardiovascular standpoint. However, the counter to that is, well, wait a minute. The hand-eye coordination might be, I mean, you're talking like you're in a piece of tinfoil surrounded by people in pieces of tinfoil. going 200 miles an hour with like an inch between you on this giant curve. Not to mention your road tracks where you're constantly up and down shifting and going crazy, and tires and engines and blah, blah, blah. You're doing a lot of crap. And, oh, by the way, NASCAR's a summer sport. So you're in, and it's largely southern. So you're in Alabama. You're at Talladega, let's say, and it's freaking 90 degrees and it's 130 in the car, and you're stuck there for 500 laps, and you're losing 17 pounds of fluid during the whole thing. Well, hold on. Isn't that physical exertion? I can't think of too many other sports where you lose that much weight in that little a time. Isn't that pushing your body to the limits? I refuse to believe that NASCAR and those long races especially don't tax your body. So is it a second cousin to competitive eating in the sense that you're taxing your body in a non-traditional way while competing against others? Therefore, it's a sport. Is chess a sport? No hand-eye coordination. No physical activity whatsoever. I mean, click. Bishop to King's 3 or whatever the hell. It was a fascinating conversation because we're so quick to judge as to what isn't a sport. But it's almost like what's an assist in the NBA. There's never been a great answer. Oh, it's when you pass the ball to the guy and he makes the basket. Okay. What if he takes a step? What if he takes two? What if he pump fakes? Oh, well, that's up to the scorer. Okay. Well, now you know why John Stockton had 75,000 assists. We'll take a break. 1-800-920-1140. I'll give you a chance, and I'll check the text line when we get back. 1-800-920-1140 if you want to help me with this definition. Also, we'll get to the national anthem at some point next, perhaps. And text to win. We'll give you the secret code coming up at 8 a.m. Monty McNair.
Does that say 8 a.m. on there? I think it says 9.
Oh, does it say a specific? Oh, it does say 9. My bad. I thought it was just I could do it during the show because we have Monty.
Oh, no, it's got to be 9.
I got you. All right. Text to win. Thank you for that, Chris. Text to win at 9, along with Monty. Coming up next, though, we'll finish this talk, and then the national anthem coming up after this.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt power tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
At Ashton & Price, we get injury victims to yes. Experience, yes. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years. No more insurance companies? Yes. Our clients focus on getting better, and we handle all the rest. Results? Yes. We've collected over $100 million for injury victims. No fee until we win? Yes. Our clients pay nothing until we win. Ashton & Price, the best at getting to yes. Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Did you know about 1/3 of our lives is spent sleeping?
Hi, this is Franklin Rosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. If we're going to spend that much time in our bedrooms, then our bedrooms ought to reflect our personalities. I remember many weekend mornings when our kids would jump into our beds trying to coax us to start our days more on their schedules than ours. Naturewood Home Furnishings' huge bedroom sale is here, and there's no better time to find the perfect accent piece for your bedroom, or even better, to start fresh by designing your bedroom to fit your lifestyle. From a new mattress and foundation to dressers to nightstands to lamps and more. Naturewood Home Furnishings will help you create a space from simple to luxurious and anything in between. Just drop by and let Naturewood's team help you envision a bedroom fit for 1/3 of your life. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable bedroom sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water reel.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off. We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details.
To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
Only place in the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
All right, we're all over the place, and that's how I like it. 1-800-920-1140. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Dave.
Good morning.
On your immediate subject, food eating is not a sport.
What is not a sport?
Food eating.
Why not? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm asking why not.
Preferred sport. Not my preferred sport.
No,
I do enough food eating.
Yeah, same. I don't know how these people do it. I really, truly don't.
But anyway, my main reason for calling is that if you wonder the new CBA, you should ask Monty how the new CBA is structured. It's structured for you to have 2 max players. That's all you can do. And so that's why you got Golden State harping in on marketing, because that's their second player. But otherwise, it's not designed to afford 3 players, and we cannot afford a marketing, regardless of what they're saying.
Careful.
Thank you.
Yeah, geez.
But anyway, no, I think the way Monty's got this deal with our new guy is that he's got him for 3 years, and he's giving Keegan time to develop, and he's going to be a third player, but he's not going to be a third max player. You got to pick and hopefully hit on your 2 max players. Otherwise, you're screwed and you got to rebuild. But that's all I got for today.
Well, I appreciate.
Thank you for having.
Thank you, brother. Be careful out there too. Either he was honking or someone was honking at him. That's why when the marketing talks were happening, it was, can Sabonis, Fox, and Markkanen win a championship? Because you better be, if you want a title, you better be able to with that move, because you're cap locked. Because with this whole new apron and everything that's going on around it, it severely limits you. And now you have James Dolan, everyone's favorite owner in New York, who sent a letter that was leaked to the NBA criticizing their revenue sharing policies. The league office is possibly going to cut 8% out of the new $74.6 billion media deal and a national TV and streaming package that renders the league's regional sports networks, according to Dolan, as unviable. He's long been a critic of this. He said, quote, "The NBA has made the move to an NFL model de-emphasizing and depowering the local market. Soon, your only revenue concern will be the sale of tickets and what color next year's jersey will be. Don't worry, because due to revenue pooling, you're guaranteed to be neither a success nor a failure. Of course, to get there, the league must take down the successful franchises and redistribute to the less successful. The new media deal goes a long way towards accomplishing that goal. Now, you may remember when we were talking to Kelly Brothers last week with this new media deal, and Jason and I were talking about the future. And one of the things I said is that this might be the last deal. It's 11 years long that we're going to have local broadcasts. And now you see Dolan coming out with his email. And I disagree with a lot of what he said, especially as a fan of a small market team. What I know James Dolan's a ding dong. I get what he's saying from a business standpoint. He's saying that his New York Knicks, which are an international brand, bring in far more revenue-wise, far more eyes and ears than the Sacramento Kings, for example. Let's just use us as an example there. So why is it that the Kings get an equal share of that revenue split that the Knicks do? And from a pure business standpoint, I get where he's coming from. And I guarantee you the Jeannie Busses and Steve Ballmers of the world, the Jerry Reinsdorfs in Chicago, they're going to feel the same. Why are we aiding Memphis and Oklahoma City and San Antonio and Sacramento when they're bringing less to the table? It's a perfectly valid point on the surface. And he's right. It is going to render the RSNs unviable, and we're already seeing that in Major League Baseball. And what I believe you're going to see is a true NFL model, which, by the way, James, is working pretty damn well. But you're going to see a true NFL model where I think eventually, I'm talking a decade out plus, your local broadcasts are going to be gone. You may have a Homer cast, if you will, if they negotiate for it, where you have the option perhaps on the team's app to get a radio or and I'm not talking radio, by the way, I'm talking TV. I think there'll always be local radio. But I do believe the local radio, for example, the setup we have right now is we just signed I think a year or two ago, we signed a big deal with the Kings to be their partner. Once again, we have been for 30 plus years. I think eventually NBA teams are all going to take their broadcasts in-house. Yeah, you're going to forego the rights fees from the local partner, in this case like us, but you're going to get 100% of the advertising. You're going to be able to control all the price points. The broadcast, the sponsors, and not to mention the cross-pollination of your in-house sponsors. And I know I'm getting really deep here in the world of sales, but for example, if you work for the Kings and you're selling advertising and sponsorships and you sell it to what's her name? Something wrong, call
Ann Fong.
Ann Fong, thank you, sorry. And you're about to close this multi-million-dollar deal with Ann Fong, or Burco Redwood, or McDonald's, or whatever. And you do what's called added value in the business, where you say, hey, oh, by the way, you've got XYZ TV spots coming. You're going to get this in-arena advertising. You're going to get a suite. And, oh, yeah, you're going to get a title sponsorship on the radio broadcast that we own. I think eventually that's what's going to happen with TV. Yeah, they're going to forego the God knows how much they get from NBC Sports Bay Area. I'm just talking Kings. I'm talking all the teams. But they're going to control all that revenue now and produce it on their own in-house. They don't have to rely on partners. Well, eventually the NBA is just going to take over all the broadcasts. And it's going to be like the NFL. MLS has that same setup right now. It's all going to be a rotating group of NBA-employed broadcasters, much like in football. Except instead of 17 games, it'll be 82. Who are we getting on the broadcast this week? Oh, cool. We're getting Joe Buck and Troy Aikman. Next week, we're getting Spiro Ditas and Fred Smith. That's where this thing's headed. And I think that Dolan email kind of signals a little bit of that. as well. We'll take a break when we come back. All right, let's let's get to that national anthem from last night. Might be the worst ever. I'll let you be the judge, and forgive me for the damage we're about to do to your ears. All coming up next.
What's the missing piece for the 49ers?
Which names will they add during free agency? Whether it's in season or off season, the coverage never stops. Get the latest 49ers news on Sacktown Sports and sacktownsports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Catch some Aggie football this fall and save money while doing it. Grab one of our all-new mini plans and save up to 40% off single-game tickets. With our can't-miss home slate of games this season, you can pick 82 games for just $60 or any 3 games for $75. Pick the games that fit your schedule and come support the Aggies on their quest for a Big Sky championship. Mini plans can be purchased by calling the ticket office at 530-752-2471 or online at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Ags!
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopier.com.
Pop summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates.
$12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price.
Pop summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing. Lease and some other offers must pay in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
I'm a very active person that likes to move around and go. The pain I was in was really excruciating. It was actually debilitating. I was basically heading towards a sedentary lifestyle. I had really tried everything, but I quickly lost hope with all of the things that we had tried, and that's what led me to the Good Feet store. And when I found the Good Feet system, it really just changed everything. It brought me back to life. I have my active lifestyle back.
The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your new home for 49ers football in the 916.
Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone. And then boom,
with Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
Coming up at 9 a.m., just under an hour from now, we'll give you the text to win code with our friends at Quick Clack. Win yourself a 30-day Quick Clack membership. very much come in handy in the summer. Also, when we played Monty McNair with Jason yesterday. TV news in the world of sports. Bye-bye, Skip Bayless. Aw. And the Kings pool for the in-season tournament. We didn't get to that yesterday. Last night, the Home Run Derby, Chris and I both thought it was fun to watch. But the talk of social media was the national anthem. Now, here's the thing with these national anthems. Every once in a while, weirdly enough, generally at all-star games, there's a really bad national anthem. And I always, being in radio this long, it's definitely something you talk about. So, but there's like a couple of rules. Number one, I don't ever mess with kids. If you're a kid, you're going out, you're trying to sing the national anthem, and you just absolutely fail. That shouldn't. I don't like laughing about that publicly. I'll laugh. I'll laugh privately, but that just feels bad. Secondly, I always want to acknowledge these people are going out, they're singing the national anthem. And I think there's a difference between like, holy crap, that sucked, and just like mean-spirited bullying. I think that's a super fine line to walk. Last night, Ingrid Andress, or Andress, I don't know. Never heard of her before. She's a country music singer. She did the national anthem at the Home Run Derby. There's two things. Generally, when somebody does a national anthem, the, stage directors and producers and directors of whatever the event may be, they, like, for example, when you see somebody sing the national anthem at Golden One Center, they have days where there's like tryouts, usually before the year starts. And they pick the people to sing it, and, they leave some dates open for, maybe they move people around if they can get a pro to come in. Maybe somebody's touring or whatever. But a lot of times if you have an actual musical artist, well, they don't go through that. So something like the Home Run Derby or the All-Star Game or whatever, well, this person, they're a pro. So, oh, she can do that? Great. So, again, brace your ears. This is last night's, at least part of it, last night's national anthem.
Who's broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, or the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there.
Okay, I can't. Stop. My mouse is dead. Potting it down. My mouse died at the wrong time. Okay. So a lot of things could have happened there. Maybe her monitors were out, the things that are in her ears. Maybe there was a weird echo.
I don't know what that weird sound is when she was hitting. It almost sounded like, when you hear words in reverse.
Yeah. The problem is that probably none of that was true, and you can tell. You can tell by her singing. There is a certain type of female singing style. Lorde is one. You may remember the version of Leaving on a Jet Plane by Chantal Krevusiak or something like that. There's a handful that have a very Billie Eilish, a little bit, very breathy, haunting. I've never heard a single thing that she's sung before, so I pulled this up. According to Spotify, this is her most listened to song. It's called More Hearts Than Mine.
she's the next Taylor Swift.
Right. It's a very pleasant voice. Now, okay, is that because she's in studio? Well, here's her at a Tiny Desk concert.
I'll be fine, but you'll be breaking more hearts than mine.
Just her acoustic band.
My sister's gonna ask a million questions.
Let's see if I can get you a louder part.
Normally we write really sad.
That's her
I'll
talking.
be fine.
Okay, so that was live. Here's the thing about the national anthem, too. You got to kind of acknowledge it. The national anthem's not an easy song to sing. Our national anthem is not. It is not an easy song. It is when you go for, if you know, I don't know. We've sung the national anthem our whole lives. That I don't know how often you actually stop and go, well, let's get into the actual intricacies of singing the song. You start out on one level with the "Oh Say Can You See," and it's rather low. And when you compare that to the highest note, which is generally "Land of the Free," it's a big gap. Not to mention, it's kind of awkward. Don't get me wrong. I love our national anthem and all that. I'm just saying this is not the easiest song to sing. And we've seen this, whether you're a professional singer or perhaps a track star.
It's always good to be back in Jersey. How about them Nets?
Carl Lewis, everybody.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear any food here. All right, are we all ready?
You already knew it was going to suck right here. You already knew it.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light?
Actually, okay so far.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
People forget the first part was actually. If I had paused it there and you'd never heard it before.
Yeah, you know what? He's not a bad singer. He's an amazing track star.
Yes, that's a good voice. Good for you, Carl. The problem is that sometimes when one thing goes wrong, the whole house of cards drops, and that's what happened to old Carl here on this next part.
And the Rockets, red flag. Uh-oh.
Mike Tyson said once, everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Everybody thinks they know how it's going to go until they're out there, and that's a perfect example. When you compare the "Oh Say Can You See" part to "Red Glare" or "Land of the Free," it's a whole new ball game now all of a sudden. And
I'm not going to be able to hit this.
I'm not hitting the free part. So in real time, I'm going back to square one, and I'm going to figure it out.
And the hope of the
Not only was the attempt an all-time bad one, but Sports Center great, current Los Angeles Dodgers broadcaster Charlie Steiner made it immortal.
Sarge National Anthem.
It's his reaction.
Written by Francis Scott Off-Key. Those were last night's lowlights. There, last night's highlights.
Anyone who saw Charlie Steiner on SportsCenter knows what I'm about to say is true. When Charlie would lose it, we all lost it with him. And when he lost it, he'd have tears and snot coming down his face. So, and by the way, somebody just informed me, I think Ingrid Andress, who sung the national anthem last night at the Home Run Derby, was actually one of our Country in the Park guests this last go. And again, we heard her recorded, we heard her live, just a perfectly wonderful voice. It's just the national anthem ain't nothing to screw with. Look, unless you're Marvin Gaye, okay, unless you're Boyz II Men, Metallica, Huey Lewis, don't try to reinvent the wheel.
You have to be incredible.
You have to be incredible. The most incredible, in my opinion, the most incredible national anthem ever sung. And to me, it's not close. I think Marvin's is the most original at the All-Star game at the Forum. But I think the best one of all time is Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl. And she lip-synced. Most people don't realize that. She actually lip-synced it. Whitney flipping Houston lip-synced the national anthem. And I think it's the best one that ever happened. Don't screw around. Sing it the way it should. Practice it prior many, many times. Make sure you've got something so you know what key to start in. And by the way, this is just my own personal thing. This is how I tend to grade national anthems. Banner is 3 syllables, not 4. And no, of course, banner is 2 syllables. But when singing, there are those that say banner or banner. If you're going 4 syllables, then you got to do really well at the rest of it. 3-syllable banners, please. And you know what? I'm rooting for Ingrid because she's taking it on the chin today. This poor girl is a national meme. I think she has a new album coming out. I hope it does well. You know, look.
What if this was like a way for her to get her name out there?
It's a great way to do it.
Like if she did a very good job at it, everyone, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but now, let's put it this way: you and I, I know who Ingrid Andress is now. I did not know before. I'm rooting for her. You know what? Everybody has bad nights. We've seen them recently in nationally televised performances. You might fall flat on your face. Get back up and do your thing. We will take a break. When we come back, just a 1-minute break here, we'll clean some stuff up, including news out of the world of sports television. We'll get to that next.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Carmichael Dave.
He has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sacktown Sports.
The chat is very unhappy with the national anthem segment. The funny thing is I couldn't see the chat because I had her YouTube page up. A lot of mercies in there, as in I give up. Please stop. Chris Guerrero says this is pure laziness. The Olympics are going on right now. No, they're not. And even if they were. Kings Fan Dan, is this the slowest sports news day of the year? Yes. Yes. Welcome to, let me be really clear here. The job of a sports radio host, or one of their main jobs, is to do what we call teasing. Do a segment, and then at the end of the segment, it's, I don't know. Is this the last day LeBron James is going to play basketball forever? We'll tell you why next. And then you listen through the commercial break. And then we come back and we're like, no, next. And then, it's some stupid.
Unless something changes.
Right. Unless something changes. No, according to sources. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. But then there's the long teases. Well, hey, coming up at 9 a.m., Monty McNair, you want to tease the thing towards the end of the show, keep the listener. Appointment radio is what they say. And you even do it like throughout the week. Hey, this Friday, we're going to have, Tiger Woods on at 8:35. Make sure you stay tuned for that. That's what good radio hosts do. What they don't do is what I'm about to do, which is what I've been doing, which is Jason is gone until next Wednesday, and then I am gone. This is the first time I have worked this week in over 10 years because it is the slowest sports week of the year. Now, I'm sure some of you, Chris, well, you could be talking about badminton qualifying. There's soccer. Why don't you do a 3-hour block on the WNBA? Which, by the way, we have talked a lot of WNBA lately. It's the slowest week of the year. And on top of that, Jason is gone. So over the next 5 shows, including this one, you're getting a lot of national anthem breakdowns. There will be a few Mount Rushmores in there. I'm sure we're going to do, hey, if you could only play golf with one foursome. Now, we'll switch these up a little. But throughout the year, every radio host, every TV host, producer, whatever, has a folder or something in their phone, or there's something where they keep track of what we call evergreens. Conversations that maybe in February or December, when you're in the thick of the sports year, you're not going to have those conversations because you need to get to what the Niners did and what the Raiders are going to do in the Kings and, everything that's going on. Now, this is where all that comes out. So, yes, get used to that. I 100% promise you that that's what the show is going to be for the next 6 days. I have warned you. If you want to submit show topics, I have a saying throughout the year, no amateur program directors. Don't worry, we got this. I don't know if that's a saying, but it's something I think. This is not one of those weeks. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be all request radio, but I will listen to and observe your requests if they are reasonable. If Chris Guerrero wants me to talk about swimming, I'm not going to do that. But if you have a question or a topic that we may not normally cover throughout the year, or something you were talking about with your friends, or an answer to a question you've always wanted to know, preferably sports related, but not a deal breaker, I will listen. Steven on the text line or on the chat. Honesty is the best policy. That's my opinion too. I will always be straightforward with you. I will not lie to you. I'm just trying to get through the next 21 hours and 37 minutes, and then I'm going to Europe. I'm just trying to get 21 hours and 37 minutes. And I don't have, after today, any more Jason Ross interviews down in Summer League to hang on. So I will be clearing out my address book, begging people to come on as guests. Good morning, David.
Hey, good morning.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, give me at least a 15-minute segment on Charles Barkley's interview on KCRA 3 over the weekend.
Oh, when you were talking, was that the one I saw it when he was talking about the Golden State Warrior fans and how great Kings fans are?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, thank you, David. We didn't even mention that, but boy, no love lost for the Golden State fans. And also, weirdly, Sacramento's kind of always, I'm not saying that Charles Barkley has never criticized Sacramento, but weirdly enough, I feel like he's always had a soft spot for Sacramento. And my buddy Mike Tissell with KCRA Channel 3 caught up with him at the golf tournament, and here's what he had to say live. Just walked right up to him. I see Deirdre Fitzpatrick, Mike Cherry, and there's Mike Tissell with our partners at KCRA talking to Barkley.
Hey, here's one of those stars, Charles Barkley. Hey, we're live on KCRA 3. How's that golf game?
What city?
Sacramento, the King.
Y'all got cable there?
Woo! See,
hey, great trade getting DeMar DeRozan.
How big of a difference does that make for the Sacramento?
Well, I think he's a terrific player, and he's a great guy. He's going to bring some veteran leadership. So Sacramento got better, and I'm really hoping they do well because I really pull for the Kings. You know, because they got some of the best fans in the world. They're like totally opposite of those jackasses in Golden State. Their fans are the worst. But Sacramento got great fans.
That's great.
He's the perfect interview of those because it's first a joke about the city. Then, oh, I know something about what just happened with the Kings. This is my serious thoughts. Oh, and then screw the Warriors.
Exactly. He's always had and he had the little dig about cable, but he's always had a little bit of a soft spot. Here he is, April 6th, a year ago, April 6th.
The Sacramento Kings are going to win a playoff series. Guaranteed.
I mean, if you're the number 3 seed.
No. They're going to be playing the Warriors or the Lakers. That's a tough first-round series.
Okay.
They're going to win a series.
I mean, he was wrong. He was wrong, but his heart was in the right place. And by the way, I just want to throw you an example. Do you see what just happened there? David called up at 1-800-920-1140, and he asked for a segment on the Charles Barkley quote, which we did not have on today's call sheet. We brought up the sound. We played it. We did a segment on it. That's what the next 6 shows are going to be like if we all work together to get through this. You want to be entertained. I want to entertain you. I'm like Linus from the Peanuts, and my security blanket is in New Orleans. And meanwhile, I got Peppermint Patty behind the glass trying to get me in trouble here and there. Who I believe is currently talking to Steven. And by talking, I think Steven's talking to him right now on the phone. And Chris is waiting to take a break, which we will do right now. When we come back, TV news in the world of sports, the Kings pool for the in-season tournament is defined. And your requests will go to the text line at 916-339-1140. And we'll go to your phone calls at 1-800-920-1140. We'll do that next.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
And Logan Ryan picks him up. Looks like they're playing man. LaPorta's over there as well. It's 5 out. It's empty on 4th down. Goff back. Not going to get out to his right. Being chased. Throws, and it is incomplete. The 49ers take over on 4th down. Again!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
Where do you go when you need someone to represent you? For me, you want someone that is local and that you can actually get to and talk with. There are plenty of big branded lawyers out there with the name, but you never get to talk to them. So go to saclegaldefense.com and connect with the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez. He's local, he'll represent you, and he'll have your back. Whether it's expungements, wrongful termination, when you're in a spot when you need legal help, call the law offices of Jonathan Gonzalez at 916-304-9187.
Welcome to Staples, young man.
Tomorrow's my big day.
Big day?
First grade.
Aw. Well, Staples has crayons, markers, glue.
I need a laptop.
Oh, yeah, sure. With Staples Hot Deals, you can save up to $300 on select PCs for school.
Wait. The finances are mom's department.
Right.
I'm looking for performance, like a Core i7 processor.
Boy, first grade has really changed.
Tell me about it.
Save big on tech for school with super low Staples Hot Deals. Right now, get up to $300 off select PCs at Staples. Ends 8/24.
The best things in life, they come in twos. 2 scoops of ice cream, 2 tacos. And now for a limited time, get our best deal of the year. Buy any phone when you switch to Consumer Cellular and get 2 months of service free. That's right, the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage as Big Wireless, now with 2 months free. Proof the best things in life really do come in twos. Visit consumercellular.com or call 1-888-FREEDOM. Second and third month of monthly base service fee waived for new customers with the purchase of a phone and activation by July 31st, 2024. Taxes, fees, and third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
18 number ones. What was I thinking? Countless ACM and CMA awards. Sold out world tours. And now Dirks Bentley is coming to Sacramento for Country in the Park 2. September 28th at Hard Health Park at Cal Expo with Parmalee, Dasha, Kelsey Hart and more, plus line dancing, food trucks, and more. Tickets available now at CITVFest.com.
Brought to you by McKee Brothers, Clemmy Reuter and Inc. and Dawson Oil Company.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com. Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Your phone calls at 1-800-912-1140. Re-racking Monty McNair for those who missed it early in the show. We'll do that at 9. Cleaning up the texts from the 530 on the national anthem from last night. Sounds like she had the hiccups. Now, here's the thing. This person spelled hiccups, HICK-UPS, and I'm trying to figure out if that was on. I'm gonna say that was on purpose.
I think that's a joke.
That's well done. Sounds like a cat getting stabbed. I mean, don't be mean-spirited. It's not funny. From the 916, Dave, I'm not trolling. I think you could sing the national anthem better than her. I don't think I could sing the national anthem better than her. I think I could sing the national anthem better than she did last night. That's actually on my bucket list of things I'm probably never going to do. Like, part of me has always wanted to sing the national anthem at a Kings game. True story.
I'm guessing you're the one that starts with Ho Jose.
Shut up, Chris. But I think my nerves should get the better of me. It's one of those things where when I see things that happened last night, I don't want what we do with Alan saying "scream" just by itself. I don't want to make myself vulnerable.
There would be a moment where you're just like, oh, and that would be played for the rest of your life.
Yeah, 100%. Do I think I could do it? Yes. Am I a great singer? No. Am I a good enough singer, I think, to pull off the national anthem? Yes. But, again, you open yourself up for it.
This might surprise you, but I'm not the biggest fan of the national anthem before sporting events. But the best live performance of the national anthem I ever saw was at the Giants game, and they had like a whistler whistle the national anthem.
Exactly what you're talking about. This wasn't that long ago, I don't think.
When I saw it, this was a while ago.
Oh, was it?
Like right at the beginning. Like this is Pac-Bell Park days. I think it's someone that they've used several times.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it's happened before.
I also think there's a woman that plays the national anthem with a saw.
What?
Like with like a violin. Like you've seen that before, right?
I have not. Hold on. Here's somebody whistling the national anthem. Oh, we're not gonna play the whole thing.
Spangled Banner. Ladies and gentlemen, 4-time national and international whistling champion, Chris Ullman.
It's awesome. We'll see when he gets to the high parts here. Hold on. Yo, that's fantastic. Sorry, all the dogs. That's fantastic. What was I going to say? So, like, my favorite national anthems are the ones when the crowd, like, I think one of my favorite national anthems of all time, I want to say it was an Edmonton Oilers game. Mike went out. Everybody was singing "Oh Canada." It was the crowd that was singing it, which was just awesome. I actually think of all, I haven't heard every national anthem, but the two best, I think my two favorite, other than, like, patriotic reasons, obviously, our national anthem's my favorite, of course, America. But, like, just from a pure song standpoint, I think it's a tie between "Oh Canada," and I don't know if you remember, like, if you saw Hunt for Red October, like the old school USSR national anthem, it was actually a good song. I don't know what they say. I'm just saying from, like, a pure, like, hey, that anthem slaps.
America is the worst, crush capitalism.
See, there you go.
Yeah, those are the words.
Oh, is that? I thought that was you.
Those are the words of the USSR national anthem.
No, we're not playing Roseanne's national anthem. We've done that enough. Rolling through the text here. I always love the way this works. From the 916, Dave, I know you can't criticize the Kings, but I can. I strongly believe Fox is Monte Ellis. He's just a scorer that doesn't impact winning. Monty improved the Kings roster, but I'm not sure how far this team can realistically go. I say second round is the ceiling, but for this franchise, I guess that's good enough. You know, I was on, listen, in all seriousness, I was on the Fox's Monte Ellis track for about a month. I really was, because this was before the Sabonis trade. And I was looking at the comparisons, and really, really honestly, the first 6 years of De'Aaron Fox's career, when you look at the numbers, just seriously, don't take my word for it. If you go NBA stats comparison in Google, it'll bring up a site where you can literally compare two players in any time frame you want. It's pretty easy to use. And put in De'Aaron Fox and Monte Ellis and put in their first 6 seasons. Honest to God, it's scary how close their numbers were. And if you remember we bring this up from time to time at Chris Mullen's retirement ceremony, right after Joe Lacob and Peter Guber bought the Warriors, they had just traded Monte Ellis, who was like super fan favorite. And they got booed off the floor. Rick Barry had to come out and yell at everybody, right? I mean, that was a whole thing. We played it before. The trade of Monte Ellis was a big part of that. And then obviously that opened up the door, Steph and Clay, and they won championships. But I was wrong about it. I was wrong about De'Aaron Fox being Monte Ellis because he's a better defender than Monte Ellis. He led the league in steals last year. He's more clutch than Monte Ellis. I do think he does affect winning. I don't agree with that. Mainly, if for no other reason, you have to ask. And I get it. It's fair. De'Aaron Fox is the longest tenured Sacramento King. And they've never gotten past the first round of the playoffs. Therefore, it must be he's limiting. But I feel like when we say that, we're just saying that. It's my favorite Latin phrase, post hoc ergo propter hoc, after, therefore, because of it. West Wing fans, you know what I mean. That doesn't mean there's a corollary. And look at who he's had. They finally went out and got him a good player in Sabonis, and oh, hey, wow. Second most wins in the Western Conference the last 2 years. So I don't think De'Aaron, in fact, I worry more about, and Domantas Sabonis might be my favorite player on the team. I worry more about his limitations than I do De'Aaron Fox's. Fox doesn't really have limitations. He could shoot better free throws. Certainly nits to pick. I'm more worried about us having a five who may not be a five, who is just the best person, competitor, leaves it all out there, has led the league in rebounding both full seasons he's been with the team. Gives you 20 points, 12, 13 boards, 7, 8 assists a game. I don't think you'd ask anything more out of Domantas Sabonis numbers-wise. But can you win a championship with a five that is not a plus defender who doesn't really have an outside shot? If you want to ask a question about limiting this squad between Fox and Sabonis, I worry more about Sabonis. Now, I think that can be defeated. I think that could be defeated if you, just like with De'Aaron, if you surround him with the right parts. But I don't think they've done that yet. I don't think they've done that yet. But I do think they improved the squad. And I am okay, because I'm getting a lot of questions about this too. I am okay with them being done with. In fact, I almost prefer, unless something crazy came up, I almost prefer them being done with their moves for the summer, major moves. And by the way, I don't think they're a championship contender as they are. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just going to go back to kind of the same thing I've been saying, which is you just added a major piece in DeMar DeRozan when it comes to a scoring standpoint, 24 points a game. And I do think that number will go down with the Kings because they have enough offense. But I would rather not spend the limited assets we have right now trying to augment a team in which we're not entirely sure what needs to be augmented. Yes, we need more frontline help. Yes, we need to get better defensively. I agree. But what if that better piece ends up being a 3 that moves Keegan to the 4? What if that piece ends up being a 5 that moves Domas to the 4? Or Keegan from the 4 to the 3 full-time? There's 3 different types of position, 3, a 4, and a 5, you could go out and acquire to improve this team. And I'd like to see what they look like with DeMar DeRozan for 30 or 40 games. Call me crazy. I'd like to see how this team works with DeMar DeRozan for a few before we start spending capital. Because we don't have a lot left. Because you got 2 max players, a $25 million a year player, and before you know it, Keegan Murray is going to come up. One last note, Skip Bayless is leaving FS1's Undisputed later this summer. Now, maybe I'm the cheese stands alone here. I, honest to God, did not know that was still on the air. I thought it ended when Shannon Sharp left. And it used to be Skip Bayless and Stephen A., which was probably the best iteration of that show. Shout out to our guy Sean Salisbury and the late, great John Clayton for starting all of that. Sometimes I want to shout him out, and sometimes I want to slap him. Because it gave way to these debate shows that I to this day, I do not understand what the appeal is. But obviously there's an appeal because a lot of people watch them. But I wonder how much of their ratings are people like us. Like, I have it on FS1 and I have it on NBA TV in here. I'm not even watching it. Are there just a lot of people that just leave their TVs on the sports channel whatever that channel may be.
And there's like a right way to do a debate show. Pardon the interruption, does it the best.
You're 100% correct about that.
Because like they are having conversations. It does get serious, but it's not like you are a moron if you believe in this.
Oh, let me tell you why. Then they scream at each other.
Yeah.
I also don't mind. You said pardon the interruption. I don't mind around the horn either.
Oh, around the horn, yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind those.
I think like the success from those, and then it's just like, oh, well, people really like it when they start yelling at each other. What if the whole show was that?
Yeah, what if the whole show was just yelling? People will love that. We'll take a break. When we come back, Chris has got it. Who's hot, who's not, and then we will go streaking. Or are we going streaking?
I don't know.
I don't think we are going streaking, actually. Never mind. Who's hot, who's not. We'll clean up some other stuff, and then Monty McNair at 9 a.m. We'll be right back after this.
Subscribe to Sacktown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Live Monday through Friday from 6 to 6. Plus view archive shows and exclusive content.
Subscribe at youtube.com/Sacktown Sports.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Sign up for Sky River Rewards, and you'll get $15 free play to use on your first visit. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Drapes, Kyle Draper. As the proud sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew, Alsco Uniforms offers certified hygienically clean lab coats, scrubs, bed linens, towels, floor mats, and an array of mops tailored for your healthcare facility. Our services include convenient delivery to your doorstep. Leading the way in healthcare laundry services in Northern California, discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's alsco.com.
Summer is finally here, and so are all the best deals on DeWalt Power Tools at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet in Sacramento. Drills, impacts, circular saws, you name it, we have it for the best price in town, guaranteed. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a seasoned tradesman, we've got all the DeWalt products you need to crush your next project. So come on down to Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet today on Power and Road for better tools and better prices. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sacktown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
What's hot and what's not? Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company and second opinion partner.
Monty McNair in 14 minutes. Crosstalk coming up at 9:43 with Stiles and Watkins, along with celebrity birthdays. In the meantime, who is hot?
Rhys Hines.
Yeah.
In his 6 days as a Major League Baseball player with the Reds, Hines has 9 extra base hits, 5 home runs, a game with all types of extra base hits, all 3 types.
Wow.
A grand slam and a multi-home run game. Nobody else in Major League Baseball history has ever done all of that in a 6-day span.
I mean, you want to talk about a great start. Again, you just wonder, is it a Kirk Reeder type great start, or is this guy going to be a real deal player? But my God, talk about the confidence he has right now. Also, I'm doing something at the end of the show today. I can't even remember the last time. There's a guy that actually used to work here that I think lives in Europe now. I could be mixing this up with somebody else. Anyways, he and his kid are visiting. I'm giving a tour at 9 a.m. at the station. I can't even, I've got to be the worst tour guide ever. You watched West Wing before you hated it. Remember when, was it Rob Lowe's character was given Leo McGarry's daughter's character. He was given the class a tour, and he was like, "This is the plate room. No, it's the China room." And he was like, "I don't even know how to give a tour. Like, honestly, I'm not nervous about it. I don't want."
So you know what all the rooms are?
Yeah, well, I know. Like, I'll show him like, here's our studio. And
this is where the magic happens.
Where the magic happens, exactly. And since he worked in radio, and specifically, I think in this building, years, like a couple decades ago, so he'll kind of get it, but like, also not the greatest place to give a tour, I think. Like, and
No.
There's the lizard that crawls in the hallway and the cockroach.
You kind of see people's like magic disappear when they come to this building.
They get crushed.
I will have my little cousin in here on Friday. He wants to see how the magic's made.
Wants to see how that makes me maybe I gotta bring my son in at some point this summer. And I'm running out of time because we get back from vacation, then they go back to school that following Wednesday. So it's either sometime. The only problem is I don't know if I want to bring him in without Jason, because he's just going to be sitting here half the time like nothing's going on. He's going to be sitting there playing. He's going to get bored right in front of me. Who's not?
Bronny James.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Bronny finished with 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 blocks. Not bad. And the Lakers 88-74 lost to the Celtics. In his 4 games so far in Summer League, Bronny is averaging close to 26 minutes a game, 4.3 points per game, 23% from the field, and he is 0 of 15 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, he's been terrible.
Also 50% from the free throw line.
And now you see, somebody said something to me yesterday after the show, is a friend of mine. So I was listening to you talk about Bronny. He goes, I really appreciate where you're coming from in the sense that, it seems like it's a little bit of bullying. It's not this kid's fault that he was born that way. It's cool that he has tried to work his way up. He's not his dad, He said, but he's taken a spot from somebody. There's somebody out there that is a journeyman or a rook trying to break in that doesn't have a rich family, that only has 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 years of their NBA career, like most NBA players. And he's taken a spot from this guy. And, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. And one of the things I love about debate and whether it's sports radio or something else is I think it's actually cool when you have a take and then somebody says something that makes you go, you know what? Okay, that's a fair point. I hate radio or TV, like we were just talking about with the argument. When was the last time you saw a first take style show and these guys are yelling at each other? And then one guy's like, yeah, but also, and then the other guy's like, you know what? I hadn't thought of that.
I didn't think about that.
That's actually
a pretty good point.
It's I actually like that. I think that's how you learn. That's how you grow. So this guy said that. I'm sure he's not the first to say that, but that really did kind of stick in my head. Not that I'm changing my mind. I think Bronny James is evil, but it's going to be interesting to see. Much like you could argue that, I don't know, Sam Cassell, James Borrego, 900 other coaches who've been toiling away, all got stomped on by JJ Redick, who has as much coaching experience as you and I do. So it'd be very interesting to see how the Lakers handle Bronny James, even though they've given him a 4-year deal.
Oh, man.
Mm-hmm. Because if he continues to put up these numbers in Summer League, well, he can't make the team.
And it gets to a point where I feel sorry for him of just like, he's put into a position where he can't win. He can't make himself be an incredible basketball player.
Nope.
Like, he can try as hard as he can and put his hours in the gym. It's not going to make you a world-class basketball player.
It's not like he's trying to suck. And in fact, you're dealing with this kid who just came off a major physical trauma, who's been in the spotlight since he was 12. You think he's not going online reading about how terrible he is?
Well, then also from what I'm hearing, those games are absolutely packed because they all want to see Bronny James.
And he's airballing.
If I'm playing for the Celtics against Bronny in that game, I'm doing everything I can to just absolutely just shut him down, just because you're not going to make me look bad.
No, he's got a target on his back.
So like you've got all these
terrible.
like if he had those numbers as like just Joe Smith, like he's just like he's forgettable. But like you don't have packed crowds, you don't have people just like going hard at him. He's just he's in a good spot because of his name, but in a bad spot of just what his talent is as of right now.
He's a number 55 pick getting the attention and scrutiny of a number 1 pick. And again, I'm not
especially with how bad the draft was.
That's right. I'm not trying to play a violin for the kid. There's a lot of people that would love to be in that position. But it gets a little out of hand. Obviously, with everything that happened over the weekend, and you know what I'm talking about, the big news events. You know, you had Bronny James as a meme for that thing. And I won't even say what it was on the air. You can figure it out, or maybe you saw it. But I'm looking at that. I'm going, look, he was born into privilege. He's got a ton of cash. I get it. There's a lot more people you can feel sorry for than Bronny James. But I honestly, Chris, you know what it is? It's the part of me. It's the Ben Simmons part of me that I hate. It just seems like when it gets mean-spirited and everyone just kind of gangs up, it's like, okay, what did this kid really do? Like, other than, again, maybe taking a spot. That's a valid thing. And if he's putting up these numbers and he's on the Lakers, then you really just have to say, okay, the Lakers agreed to pay LeBron James, you know, whatever it was, 2 years and whatever million, and give him a roster spot to do with what he wished. That was their price to retain LeBron James. He just didn't put it in his contract. We'll take a break. When we come back, Monty McNair, Jason Ross sat down with him in his palatial suite in Las Vegas, sat down with him the night before last. We played that early in the show yesterday. Here's for those who weren't listening yesterday. We'll play that for you right after this.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Whitey here reminding you that not all gas grills are created equal. Bring out all the delicious flavors in your grilled meats with the amazing Napoleon Prestige and Prestige Pro line of outdoor cookers. My Napoleon Stainless Steel Pro Series gas grill has turned me into a grilling pro with features other grills cannot match. They're built different, built better, built to last. Made with premium stainless steel that boasts quality and a lifetime warranty. I may never want to cook indoors again. Napoleon grills and accessories are now available at your nearby Amy's, Ace Hardware in Sacramento, and now El Dorado.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
We golfers tend to grumble too much. Golf Monthly's Nick Bonfield compiled our biggest complaints. They include our own game. The refrain, is it going to be another one of those days, should maybe be realigned and set about the next shot with positivity. Next is our equipment. We always blame our tools, even though they were just along for the ride. Course conditioning is another gripe, and maybe you should try getting up while it's still dark, whether it's 108 or 32 degrees, and deal with global warming, limited budgets, and sustainability. And then go hug your superintendent for what they do. Dress codes get a lot of attention. Some feel the tradition should be maintained, and others are comfortable in T-shirts. It's a game, people. Also in the mix are rules of golf, slow play, the World Handicap System, tee time booking systems, bad luck, and more. I say you get out of it what you're willing to put into it. You're on a golf course, your phone's not ringing, and you might make a birdie or two. Enjoy the moment. There's lots of time left in the day for complaints. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price.
Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The wild-eyed Southern boys are back. 38 special. Rock it into the night. Friday, July 19th at 7:30 at the venue at Thunder Valley. With Lou Graham, the original voice of Foreigner. Tickets on sale now. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com. Don't miss 38 Special Live.
Big O Tires proudly sells our own brand of innovative, newly designed tires, like the Bigfoot AT2 with improved all-terrain traction, and the Legacy All-Season Plus that keeps you on the road in any weather, with every set backed by our ProTech Plus warranty.
And right now, get $80 to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Big O brand tires with installation purchase. Now through July 28th. Big O Tires, the team you trust. No carryouts, not valid with other offers. Eligibility may vary. Disposal fees extra and shop fees extra where permitted. See store for details.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sacktown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sacktown Sports.
All right, here with Monty McNair, and Monty, off seasons come and go. They're kind of different each time, but you've been busy. Let's kind of maybe go through the order. We'll go back to extending Mike Brown. That's a big part of what you guys want to do. How did all that go?
Yeah, no, I think once you get through the draft and free agency, people want to talk about the players, but let's not forget our coach. Really excited to bring Mike back. 94 wins the last 2 years, and what he's done for our organization. Awesome. We're so excited to extend him, and excited for what's next, what he will get this, kind of combination of new and old players to do next season in a tough West. But him and his staff, they've done a great job. Obviously, credit to Jordy Hernandez, who Brooklyn decided to lead their group, which is a great sign for us. Obviously, we're bummed to lose somebody like Jordy, but it's just a great sign for the organization. People want to come and poach from us a little bit, but to retain Mike, the rest of the group, we're excited.
I heard you say that stat the other day that you and Denver are the only teams 46 wins or more, which one is amazing. 2, it's a 3 seed and then a non-play. I mean, how crazy is the West?
The West is always crazy. I've said it. I think this is, I don't even know, 16, 17 years in now for me in the West, between Houston and Sac. And we've seen it all. I think, us and Golden State last year win 46 and don't make it into the final 8 playoff teams, which is, I think, the 5th and 6th teams ever to do that. And, I think the year before, maybe we got a little fortunate that 48 wins got us the 3 seed. But then for 46 wins, a 2-win drop to drop you 6 spots. It just shows how deep it is. But I think for us, we took that as a challenge that, you might have to win 48, 50, 52 games to get into the playoffs in the West. So how do we improve? How do we get back and compete with those teams? Because once you get in the playoffs, I think we saw it last year. Dallas had a great run from the last third of the season into the playoffs. Making the finals from, I guess, the 5 seed. And, so you get in the mix, you got a chip in a chair, as they say. We're here in Vegas, but, give us a shot. So for us, we got to get it back into that mix. That was the goal.
All right. So you land coach. That's a big part. The next one was Malik. Fans wanted him. I'm sure you guys wanted him. We're hearing all these things. All these other teams potentially are seeking him, which is a great thing for him. How did it all come about? How did you convince him to come back to Sacramento?
Well, I think this goes back 2 years where credit to our staff because, Malik certainly didn't have maybe the most standard of beginnings to his career, but had started to show some flashes his last little bit in Charlotte and then with the Lakers, and a lot in our group saw big potential in Malik. And so we were able to get him into Sacramento, used our mid-level. And, obviously he's had a previous relationship with De'Aaron. They have a great synergy together, but I think surpassed certainly my expectations and had a great 2-year run. And so at that point, it's like, all right, yeah, now how do we keep this guy? But I think this goes back to Coach Brown, goes back to De'Aaron and Domas, our 2 stars, and what they're able to kind of open up for Malik, and then how he's able to fit in there. And, we certainly missed him down the stretch last season. But I think for him, and I'm sure he had many other suitors, but for him to look at our situation and say, I want to come back and be a part of what's next, huge testament to him and to our group. And, we're really excited to see what he can do. And, a couple new faces in there with him, but him and De'Aaron continue their 2-man game. Him and Domas, a fantastic 2-man game. Super excited to have him back.
I'm sure you've got to love that, though. I mean, from the top down and coaching you, everybody's trying to talk about culture, and he chose you guys. I mean, there were other options. So, I mean, just how rewarding is what you're doing, not just wins and losses, but it's keeping guys that want to stay here.
Yeah, we've certainly had, and I know we'll get into DeMar and him choosing to come to Sacramento, but we've also had, I think, a lot of successes of guys coming to Sac, and then we're able to keep them, whether that's a contract extension or a new contract. And Malik's the latest one, fan favorite. Just a huge testament of what we're building, and I think it shows that players want to win. Yeah. And when you're winning, when there's the prospect of future winning, and I think we're set up well to compete. We'll see. We got to do it, but we're set up well to compete next year and in the future of the West. So I think that's really a testament to that.
Well, you mentioned DeMar. Let's get there. I mean, there's rumors about the team and all the different guys that you guys may have been pursuing, but it does end up being DeMar DeRozan. How did you guys kind of make this work? Why did he choose Sacramento?
Well, I think, a little bit of it just goes back to that we've been set up where we have the ability to go and recruit a free agent like that. We have the ability to kind of, it's a complicated transaction to sign and trade, but the ability to both get the signing part done and the trading part done. And so credit to our staff, ability to do that. But, ultimately this is a free agent who can go anywhere. And, we're kind of seeing the landscape, DeMar seeing his landscape, and we get a couple days into free agency and continue to talk. And, credit to Wes Wilcox, who does a fantastic job, working the phones, and our staff trying to figure out, okay, if DeMar may come, what does that mean? How do we set up the trade? And really working these 3 or 4 paths at once to try to get them to ultimately come together, which they somehow did right before Cal Classic game number 1. So, certainly not a grand strategy that we had for that timing, but it worked out great. And, he's just such a consummate professional, somebody who you look at his career and it's like, how has he done this for over a decade? And I think led the league in minutes per game last year, whatever it is, at his age, to show no signs of slowing down and continue to evolve his game, add the passing and playmaking and scoring at the line in the paint, in the mid-range. He's just, a complete player. And I think a 6-time All-Star to choose Sacramento. I think it's because of what we're building here, and excited to bring him in.
I mean, all NBA as well, multiple times, Hall of Fame career, really. How do you see the fit with him here?
Well, I think the great thing about DeMar is, like I said, with the passing, with the scoring, with the ability to get to the line, he's going to fit in all sorts of lineups. And so whether that's with Sabonis, with Fox, with both of them, obviously Keegan and his ability to score inside and out, and then you got Kevin Huerter, Malik Monk, Trey Lyles, you go on and on down the line. I think DeMar, whether he needs to score or whether he needs to find others, he's going to do that. He's also shown the other end the ability to guard multiple positions, which is huge in today's NBA. So just another threat out there that teams have to account for. I mean, you're an opposing coach and you got to put somebody on De'Aaron, somebody on Domas. That's all-star, all NBA level talent. Now you got DeMar in there, and then you look up and somebody's gonna have to guard Keegan or Kevin or Malik, and it's it's gonna be hard to guard us. For us, we're gonna have to put that in, make sure we do the work, get the right shots, take care of the ball, and then at the other end continue to improve like we did last year on the defensive end. But he I think unlocks a lot of things for us and for Mike Jay on the offensive end.
Also, in the busy offseason, you have a draft. It's always an exciting time, too. Devin Carter comes in as a lottery pick. Unfortunately, he's injured here to start, but, there's still a bright future ahead for him. Kind of the thought process on drafting him and hopefully when you'll have him back.
Yeah, Devin, I think unique in that I think he can fit us when he comes back this year, but also somebody that we can see fitting whatever form we take 5, 6, 7 years in the future. And I think a little bit of what we've seen in the NBA now where these kind of do-it-all guards, wings. I mean, he's like 6'9", wingspan, and obviously his dad played in the NBA, so he knows what it's about. But I think that kind of versatility defensively and then offensively, he showed in college the ability to put the ball on the ground, go to the basket, shoot from outside. Really big improvement this year. We're bummed he's not playing here at Summer League and maybe for the start of the season, but when he does come back, I think he's going to make a big impact and just be a very good complement to what we're already building, and then hopefully continue to grow his game and sky's the limit for him.
I'm curious on the process for you and your front office, how fluid the path has to be. So let's go to draft night and you're 13. You may want to trade the pick. You may want to make the pick. Maybe your pick goes before you. Also to DeMar DeRozan, if you're interested in other players too. Like, how fluid do you have to be? Is it when the opportunity strikes, this is one of our plans, we go for it? Just kind of how is that process?
It's when you're in the moment, it's hard sometimes because you don't know what's to come. We have the draft. It's draft night. Now it's 2 nights. Then you got a few days. Then you got free agency. Trades obviously happen a lot at that time. And, really the DeMar DeRozan thing comes together on July 6th, which, that's only 10 or so days from the draft, but it feels like forever. And at the time at the draft, you have no idea what may come. And there was a bunch of things floating around. So you're really trying to make these decisions at the time. There's a bunch of different kind of, game theory thought here about there's a stopping problem. Like, okay, when is this the one versus roll the dice and see what's going forward? And, so we ended up having a lot of options at the draft, but when Devin fell, we were really excited to get him. And we said, well, let's see what's going to happen in free agency. And there we had some trade options and things, but as DeMar came into focus, the last few days of that became, I think, the thing that we thought, man, this really checks a lot of boxes for us. And, we still had to convince him. We had to set up the other trades, but, happy where it ended up, restless nights in the interim, trying to see where we were going to end up. We were happy with, I think our process there, but it's certainly tougher in the interim.
He seems happy. Was the convincing of DeMar a difficult task, or?
I think it's more just you're competing with, 20 other teams. And, so we have to, I think, him coming to SAC and seeing what we're about and meeting with some of the coaches, some of the players, our front office staff, obviously ownership. Vivek was there. Fantastic. I think that he was able to see that and it was like, yeah, this is what I want to be a part of. So, at the same time, you got to be able to offer him a package that is commensurate with his ability and then put the trade together to be able to do that. But, fortunate all those things came together, but also credit to our group. That's a lot of planning so that you have the ability to do that. And then I think the convincing of DeMar came down to coach our players and seeing what we've already been building and seeing that we have room to grow.
Yeah. A couple other moves. I mean, it obviously cost you players that you've had relationships with. Harrison Barnes, one part of the DeRozan move, but Sasha and Davion, you get McDaniels there, and you've also added Jordan McLaughlin. How do those two guys help the Kings going forward?
Yeah, well, first, Harrison, Davion, Sasha, Chris Duarte, among others, just a huge part of what we've done last year and the year before and in turning this thing around. So big thanks to them and wish them the best going forward. But in getting Jalen McDaniels, a big, long wing, I think has a chance to be impactful on both ends of the floor. Something that, we're looking to do if we can get bigger, longer, two-way players. And then Jordan McLaughlin, really a fantastic few years in Minnesota last year in particular, as they kind of surge up the Western Conference standings. But for him to come in and certainly with Devin's injury, and I think just be a good fit, both behind and potentially next to De'Aaron with his shooting ability to defend, just run an offense. Bring back Alex Len on the other end of the roster at the big spot, who had a great year last year. He's really come into his own as finding his role and just being an awesome professional, whether he's playing or not. But we're going to need him to play even more and bring his rim protection and those things. So excited for what we've got there. Obviously, haven't even mentioned Keon Ellis and Colby Jones, two of our younger guys. Keon in particular played very well down the stretch when we had some injuries at the guard wing spot, and started in the play-in for us. Had an especially big game against Golden State and guarding Steph and hitting some big shots. So we know we'll need it all in the West, and there's you'll need your depth, and you'll need your kind of all the tools in your tool belt as you go in of just different matchups each night. But I think we've got a lot of that, and we'll need guys to continue to improve internally, as well as hopefully some of the external growth that we've had.
A couple of final roster spots are left. Are there areas of need that you're looking at, more depth, maybe front court side, and what are kind of things you'd like to see addressed?
Yeah, I think for the most part, we're always looking to improve the team, and if opportunities arise, we'll certainly take advantage. I do think at this point we're expecting that this is probably the core of the group that we'll go into training camp with. But yeah, potentially one or two more roster spots. I think we're going to take our time a little bit and see there. Probably be more wing forward, big. We feel pretty good at the guard spot right now. So, we'll look. This is a big part of Summer League and see what our own guys can do. We got scouts scouting the other 29 teams here. Great opportunity for a lot of these, young players who are not even on a roster potentially to showcase themselves. And, our group's been watching the G League and International. So a lot of different ways that we can go, but, we'll take our time. We'll see what we got there. And, as we head into training camp, we'll fill those last couple spots. But, I think we're happy with the group as is. Again, if something comes up, we'll certainly look at it. But I think right now this is the bulk of the group we'll have, and a couple last spots that we'll fill right before training camp.
I'm thinking day one of training camp, you clear the court and let all the guards go out there. I mean, that competition, there's some minutes up for grabs, but there's a lot of guys that can play. I'd like to see how that goes.
Yeah, well, I think Keegan mentioned it last year, but guarding De'Aaron all summer is pretty good. Trial by fire, and we have a lot of guys. I think that they're going to go at each other, over the summer, and as we get into training camp, and obviously when Devin comes back, he'll add to that mix, and I mean that is one competitive, tough guy as well. But I think for De'Aaron too, like him going against Keon and Colby and some of these guys that can Keegan that can throw different looks at him, Malik and all the moves he has. So it's a good group. They push each other. We hope they'd make each other better, which they've done, and then we can go take it out on the other 14 teams in the West.
Yeah, one last thought. How do you feel about Keegan's experience playing with the select team was great, and Sabonis? I mean, you're probably wanting them to do well, but knock on wood, stay as healthy as possible. Just guys that get opportunities to keep playing. How do you guys kind of feel about that?
I think for the most part, the competition, the ability to play high level basketball in the summer is huge. So Keegan was select, and both Trey and Domas with their national teams. I mean, yeah, of course we want our guys to come to camp healthy, but we want them to be in great shape. We want to be in great competitive shape, and playing high level basketball there's no replacement for it. So bummer for Domas and Lithuania. They fell one game short, but was great for him. Trey, be excited to see him in the Olympics. Keegan, going up against some of the best in the world and going toe to toe. It's just an incredible experience and growth opportunity for those guys. And frankly, that's what it's going to be every night in the West. And so we're going to need every bit of experience there. I think one last thing on that is sometimes those provide opportunities for guys to maybe be out of their comfort zone, do something a little bit different, expand their game in some way. And, I think we saw that a little bit with Keegan in Summer League last year. Hey, go be the scorer, go guard the best guy. And, he was able to do more of that last year. And so we're excited to see, what he's got in store for us. I think we know Domas and De'Aaron, what they're going to do and be in the mix for all NBA, all-star accolades, obviously DeMar and what he's done. And, the more internal growth we can get. And I think we've got guys that can continue to do that. That's what we're going to need to continue to go up against these behemoths in the West.
All right. One last thing here is the question Dave and I probably get the most, which you're not going to believe. Is Monty trading for this guy or picking this guy? How is he wearing a vest when it's 113? We get that a lot. Do you get that at all?
I do. It's first of all, I'm inside. There's air conditioning.
Yeah.
All right. And sometimes it's actually quite cold in our offices.
But from the house to the car? No.
Sometimes I actually, believe it or not, take it off, put it in the car, put it on when I get inside.
You don't have it on here now, which is good.
And Miguel Lopez, our COVID manager, he's got some lightweight vests this year, a little lighter. But look, they're comfortable, okay? And they got great pockets for all the stuff you got to bring to the gym. And it's I agree. If I was going to sit outside for 4 hours in the 120 degree weather, that would be a little excessive. Yeah. For the most part, we're inside. And, it's a little cooler in there, but I appreciate the fans taking notice. And, I've seen some funny Twitter memes on it. So it's always good to see the fun had.
I'm sure there's a Monty Vest account. I don't know, but I bet there is. You got to believe there is. Our fans. I'm sure there is.
Our fans, they're doing something.
Yeah,
they're doing something. Sure. I think it was last year in Las Vegas, actually. I posted a picture from Caesars, and somebody put a vest on the statue there as a joke. So that was pretty funny. That's probably the best one I've seen.
All right, Monty, thank you so much.
Thanks, Jason.
And Jason Ross with Monty McNair. Of course, you can get all that on YouTube or the podcast where available, and it's available everywhere. Also want to remind you, as if you did not know already, it is officially summer. Nothing shines brighter than your car when you wash at Quick Quack Car Wash. And now through the end of this month, July 31st, you can get 25% off any single wash during Quick Quack's summertime savings event. Visit your nearest Quick Quack today and save. Now, how about a 30-day Quick Quack membership? Super simple. Our text line is 916-339-1140. Today's secret word is shine. Shine. So just text shine to 916-339-1140. We're going to take this to 25, correct? Very good. So we talked about this yesterday. But with Monty McNair, he's savvy, dude. Why do you have your hand on the thing, Chris? You're making me nervous. Don't we have 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You're just getting ready 5 minutes early?
I just got my hand here. This is what happens when you're not looking at Jason.
Well, I got to tell you, I had a big revelation while I was watching that interview because today is Amazon Prime Day. I'm giving them a free plug here. So, of course, it's the day that people like me, suckers, we call them, look for all the things that we're just going to save money on by buying them today. So, in my cart right now, I have a weed whacker. What was it was one of the colognes you said this morning, Obsession, or was it Eternity?
Eternity.
Okay.
But now as you say Obsession, I'm thinking I might have been wrong and it might be Obsession.
I got a bottle of Obsession in my cart now for 47% off. But then here's the thing. I like playing video games from time to time. I haven't gotten into this college football game. We're going to talk about that later this week when we talk about best sports video games of all time. I just found this out, that you can, if you have a Fire Stick and an Xbox Game Pass and a controller, you can play. That's why I asked you during the break if you play video games. You can play Xbox games on your Fire Stick, I guess, with an Xbox controller.
That's wild.
Yeah. I think I might have to do that. I'm a PlayStation guy, but there are some exclusive Xbox titles that I would like to play or that I miss. Michael says, CD, do you only advertise products that you believe in firsthand? Well, again, this is all request radio right now. So, although I recognize Michael, I think, so I don't know if he's being snarky or not. I'm going to lean snarky, but it's a good question. Yes. I either have to know who's pushing the product if I don't use it, for example, and I have to know them well and trust them, or in most cases, I utilize whatever the service is. I've said many times, like American Energy Heating and Air, I've had them out twice in the last 3 years. They did my mother-in-law, and they did my dad's whole HVAC. They fixed my mother-in-law's HVAC, Chris, and they just completed, I think, my dad's last week. Eat at Fire Wings. Bought my car from Hoblet. So did my wife. You can go just pretty much right down the list. So, the answer is yes. Oh, I get it now because he's asking about upsize. That's where we were going with that. Hey, listen, I won't get too in detail, but I will say this. The same guy that does upsize, the surgeon there, Dr. Jack, also was NorCal Laser Lipo. So when we did the NorCal Laser Lipo spots, I was like, what is the least thing I can do? And they were like, well, you have kind of some hangy skin, and as you get older, you'll get this hangy skin underneath your chin, like on your neck, like the little turkey waddle. And he's like, we can go in there and make sure that never happens. It's a super easy in and out procedure. So I went in, I had that done before I ever did any commercial. I had no plans on getting anything like that done at any point. But he was like, yeah, I'll just make sure you don't have one when you get older, and you would have a turkey waddle. So I went in and I did that. I was very public about that. So with the upsize thing, without getting too delicate, let's just say I'm not in their target demo. But because I knew Jack so well, and before there was a whole lead-in process before we even talked about it, because obviously we knew putting those commercials on, especially these airwaves, where we're all about 12 years old, it's no accidents. We knew exactly what was going to happen as far as the reaction. But the bottom line is this: there are people out there that are very much in need of that product, and that's their business, and God bless them. So we had several meetings, usually over sushi, a couple of office visits just to check everything out. Not like that, but just to understand the process. And I trust Dr. Jack because not only do I consider him a friend, in fact, we both have a mutual love of Puerto Vallarta, and keep talking about going there together with our significant others. I mean, we're real life friends, but also, and obviously I would never disclose names, but he's worked on, especially with the NorCal Laser Lipo, he's worked on people here at the station. He's worked on friends of mine, one family member. So I trust him. The bottom line is this: as we go to break, since I expect to end the segment this way, I would never endorse something that I would neither use myself or would have somebody I love and trust use it, because trust is a very difficult thing to build, and it's a very easy thing to tear down. So there's your long answer to what I think was a snarky question, but that's okay. We'll take a break. When we come back, what to watch? Not much. And also celebrity birthdays and crosstalk coming up in the final segment. We'll clean up a lot of other stuff coming up right after this.
Trying to find out where to catch your favorite team's games?
Are you a fan of the Kings, Niners, and the NFL? Well, Sacktown Sports has you covered.
Touchdown! San Francisco! It's all on his shoulders. Fox rocks. He fires for the win. He's got the triple. Catch all your Kings, Niners, and NFL games all year long on Sacktown Sports and SacktownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system and you were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Plays here.
Stolen by Fox. Breakaway coming up for De'Aaron. And a simple, casual spike to the left hand. Kings lead by 3.
Sacktown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? I think my battery's dead. With free battery testing and charging, we can help you get back on the road.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
So what if I need a new one? We have the right Duralast battery for you. Only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
And what about my old battery? We can recycle it right here at America's #1 battery destination.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council. You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on. The Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Hey, what's up, Sacramento? It's Kyle Draper. Turn up the cleanliness at your restaurant, healthcare, or industrial business with Alsco Uniforms, the official sponsor of the Sacramento Kings Mop Crew. We've got you covered with crisp uniforms, hygienically clean linens, floor mats, and of course, mops delivered weekly. But that's not all. Alsco Uniforms also offers weekly services for first aid and restroom supplies. Discover why it pays to keep clean with Alsco Uniforms. Just go to alsco.com to learn more. Again, that's ALSCO.com.
Nighttime is the right time to track your golf ball's flight time at the Hagen Oaks Top Tracer driving range. It's more relaxed at night with people enjoying the Top Tracer technology where you can play Pebble Beach at Hagen Oaks. You can compete against your friends in a variety of games or just practice with the Top Tracer television technology. There's food when you're hungry from the Hangout food truck or enjoy a craft beer on the brand new patio with relaxed seating. And don't forget the summer-long free concert schedule. It's the Hagen Oaks driving range nightly until midnight. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway.
Hot summer savings now at Maida Chevy with $12,000 off MSRP on every new Silverado half-ton Turbo Max in stock after rebates. $12,000 off every Silverado LT Turbo Max at Maida Chevy with at least 5 at this price. Hot summer savings up to $12,000 off MSRP exclusively at Maida Chevy at MaidaChevy.com. Sacramento Silverado headquarters. Together, let's drive.
Not available with special financing, leasing. Some other offers must trade in 2010 model year or newer and 7/31/24.
Made a great deal at Maida.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sacktown Sports.
I don't know is this an engineering thing? But I think our mouse is dying.
Maybe it needs a battery.
Yeah, I tried to do the thing. You know how like, you know how like you can the whole like blow on the game, the video game thing back in the day. Yeah, like I don't know if that works. I have the same problem with my remote at home for my TV, where I just need to go downstairs and grab a couple of AA batteries, right? But when I'm like posted up in my room with the TV on, and I again, this is one of those times where you never know if anyone else does this until you ask. But what I do is I open up the remote thing and I take the batteries out and I switch them like spots, and then I put them back in. All I have to do is walk down the stairs, go into the thank you very much. Chris has a battery. Appreciate that. Go into our little battery closet. Does everybody have a battery closet? We have like a plastic tub where when we go to Sam's Club or whatever, we get 700 batteries. And then we put those in there. And I think it's pretty universal. I would imagine that AA's are the most used. That work? Hey, that worked. Thank you, Christopher. All you have to do is go downstairs. All you have to do is go downstairs and replace the battery. Nope. Few months, just pop it out, and for some reason, I blow into the thing. What is that even called? The holster? The battery compartment?
I would say that's better than holster.
The something? And then then just put it back in, and then 2 days later it does the same thing. Well,
Roku offers one that you can charge.
Well, that's all my TVs are Rokus. This is interesting.
And I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like I don't have to buy batteries anymore. I can just charge it. It works about 70% of the time.
Oh no. So it's like always in a state of low battery,
or then you charge it and it's still not working. So then you have to repair it because it was low on battery. And then it was just like, then you repair it and then it's good for 2 days and then it stops and then it's not working. Then you grab another remote just because.
Yeah. I don't know. It's funny how you learn to trust things. All of my TVs in my house are TCL Rokus, because I got it recommended once and it's Roku built in, and they're all fairly pretty much the same model, and they're all battery powered remotes, but you get used to an interface and you stick with it. But in this case, hey, do me a favor. Would you toss MC? He can come back tomorrow. I'm on my last leg with him, which is tough because he's a loyal listener and a really good part of the chat, but he's just getting on my last nerve today for some reason. Camp, who is also a loyal listener, who is not getting on my nerves. He keeps bringing this up. Let me talk to you about this, Chris, because he keeps bringing this up, and let me get you're a third of the show. He wants us to do a remote. Now, I am famously averse to remotes post 2013.
One of my favorites was your summer tour.
Oh, the Carmichael Dave Show summer tour. My wife still has that shirt somewhere. We actually did that once where we did, God, what do we do, Chris? 8 or 10 remotes throughout the summer?
Oh, the one I remember was Sandbar. Because you literally couldn't hear anything.
Was Sandbar also the one, not only could you not hear, but wasn't that a hookah place?
No, it was the place that had like the beach volleyball outside.
Yeah. But it
might have had hookah.
I think they did.
Because it was a huge, like it's like upstairs, downstairs.
It wasn't like 7440 is another one, 7440 Club, where they had the beach volleyball and everything in the back. I swear to God, I think this one, because it was, because at one point the owner brought over this massive like 4-story hookah to the table, and I had never hookah'd before. So, look, back when I'm just going to be honest, man, back when I was single and bored and the night show, it was just a different flavor, come out 9 p.m. to midnight. We'd hit up bars. And again, for guys like Camp who wants us to do a remote, we actually had concert style t-shirts for the Carmichael Dave Show World Tour for the summer of whatever that was, 2008, 7. And then we had all the bars and locations on the back. So we would do a remote like twice a month. We do a full remote show. But then mornings are different. Mornings are a tough remote because everyone's doing their thing.
They're asleep for half of it,
right,
and going to work for the other half of it.
You're starting your day, and mornings do not have the same flavor as evenings as far as atmosphere. And I'm just honestly the saddest thing in the world. Well, okay, like hungry kids are the saddest thing in the world, or animals, but like the saddest radio thing in the world to me is a remote where nobody's there. Where you've got like the normal patrons who are like annoyed that these ding dongs are invading their daily space with these giant speakers and an enter to win a sticker contest. And then you have like 8 listeners show up. God bless them. By the way, this is one listener's great. 8, but I just feel like everyone's just staring at each other. They're kind of bored. Then they're looking at each other, and this is me being so insecure. I sit there at those, and I go, God, does the listener think when they're listening, like, hey, I'm listening. Everyone wants to be a part of the crowd, right? Huge show, tons of people listening, and then you go to the remote, and then I feel like it's a natural psychological thing to be like, are these the only people that listen? What am I doing? I'm a giant loser. And then they hate the show and they go somewhere else. Like it's my insecurity. I would love to meet everyone. I'd almost rather have them come in here and hang out with us for a little bit. Be careful what you wish for.
The other one I remember is the first time I ever met you. It was the remote at I think it was a boxing event at the old hotel over here, Red Lion. And it got canceled.
But didn't we still do the remote? Yes, I remember this.
It was just us in an empty room.
Nobody else was there. It was us in an empty room.
Like not even at a bar where like people would come in and out over that. It was literally just an empty room. An empty ballroom.
We will look. I love messing with I love going back and forth with especially our chatters and everybody on the text line and all that, because I do truly love everybody who listens. Yes, MC and everyone else. And even my Raiders guys, it's always in fun. It's always back and forth. It's always family. And our job is to service the customer, to serve the listener. If people want us to do a remote, I'm open to it. I think it would be the first remote we've done in
at least pre-COVID or post-COVID.
Dude, I honestly can't remember the last time. Wait, it had to be before that unless I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I want to say I don't remember doing a remote, and I'm not counting like flying down to Vegas for a
A's
fight.
games or
a spring training. I mean like a remote broadcast. I know exactly when the last remote we did was. It was at God, what year was this? It was at Solomon's downtown, the bagel, the deli. It was the morning of the MLS thing I was emceeing because we had just gotten an MLS team. I know. That I remember. And that was what? At least 6 years ago? 2018? I think. Everything runs together. So yeah, I'm open to do a remote. Maybe we can do one this summer. It has to be right. I don't think I want to do a live morning remote. Can we do a live remote and just put everybody in studio? I would rather do that. I feel like couldn't we do something where, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chairs here. We could bring in another, or do in the lounge downstairs where we have artists. I think we have like 30 chairs down there. I'd much rather it be fuller but more intimate, and then maybe we get a partner to cater a breakfast or something, and maybe it's just like a 2-hour remote. Maybe it's an 8 to 10, so you don't have to worry about all 4 hours. Maybe it's a 1 hour. I don't know. I'd love to see everybody. I'd love to interact. Yeah, all that. That's the fun part. That's the fun part. Putting faces to names and interacting. We'll bring MC up and let him co-host the last half hour. Tinfoil talk with MC, my guy. Yeah. Donuts, 100%. MC, did you just give him a 5-minute or did he sneak back in with an alt?
I put it 5 minutes.
That's fine. Yeah, we'll do donuts, coffee, decaf, orange juice. All right, you win. We'll keep on me. We'll figure it out. We'll take a break. When we come back, celebrity birthdays and crosstalk to clean up the show next.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out sacktownsports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and the Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, the Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on sacktownsports.com.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The light is fading, your hands are sore, and the last tool has been put away. Now is the time to feel the satisfaction that comes with a job well done. But when you get your tools from Harbor Freight, something about the job feels a little different. Your wallet. Because we believe that everyone deserves hardworking tools at hardworking prices. And that's what we have here. So, whatever you do it for less at Harbor Freight.
As a roofer, I don't have time to fail. Homeowners rely on me, so I rely on Beacon. Beacon's unique network of branches work together to get me what I need when I need it. And with the Beacon Pro Plus app, I've got the brands I depend on, like GAF, right at my fingertips. Now through September 15th, purchase high-quality GAF with Beacon Pro Plus and earn up to $1,500. Go to BECN.com or download the Beacon Pro Plus app today. Beacon, always building.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer, he hears things differently. To the untrained ear, everything on his shop floor might sound fine, but he can hear gears grinding or a belt slipping. So he steps in to fix the problem at hand before it gets out of hand. And he knows Grainger's got the right product he needs to get the job done, which is music to his ears. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Open Championship celebrates its 152nd anniversary this month at Royal Troon in Scotland. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. The game's top players assemble for a chance at the coveted Claret Jug. The Open Championship is about tradition, excellence, and class. And you'll find similar qualities at Naturewood Home Furnishings as they assemble the finest furniture and brand choices for your selection. When you visit Naturewood, you'll be amazed at the gallery of superior furniture available for your lifestyle, for your decor, for your home. This weekend during Naturewood's bedroom sale, you're sure to find the perfect piece you've been searching for. Naturewood is proud to bring you Open Championship updates on this station and proud to offer you the finest furnishings available. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the Watermill.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kip Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kip Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sacktown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things.
And now,
here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Seriously. What you know what? That's malarkey.
Easy with the language.
I know. You know what I hate? I think you might do it on purpose, but I'm not sure. But every once in a while, Styles will say something right before we go on. That just fires me up.
No.
And I don't know. It's cool if you do. I mean, props, honestly, if it's strategic. But like you'll say, I can't hold my tongue. Obviously, I will on this one. Alan said something that ticked me off. Not at him, but somebody said something to Alan that ticked me off for him.
There's always so much going on.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I tell you these things
This is
before I
our
forget.
special time over 30 seconds. A couple things. I was telling you guys a little bit off the air, but the chat has, and I say this with love, bullied me into considering a summertime live show.
Let's do it.
Now, Chris reminded me, he used to work at the night show. We actually did a world tour one summer. I haven't done a remote since I was telling the MLS, when we got the MLS team downtown. Whatever. Well, did we ever figure out how many years ago that was? Was that 6?
2018.
It was 2018. So 6 years ago was the last time. And then I think I've done one in the last 10 years. Because I've always said there's nothing sadder than, nobody at a remote.
Yeah.
And that gives me nightmares leading up is like, we'll open up and there's like 3 people there and 2 of them don't know what's going on. But I do love the interaction. I do love seeing people. So I'm thinking about maybe doing one downstairs in the listener lounge and we just get breakfast. And people hang out and can watch there. So would you guys be up for would you guys come down to do the crosstalk at least at
That'd
the end?
be awesome.
Everybody and then
Sure.
jet up, or we could
You might as well just do the whole day down there.
yeah, I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
that'd make the engineers happy.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't have a
Right.
problem with
Barbecue.
that.
We should switch that.
Barbecue.
Yeah. Barbecue down there.
Yeah, exactly. We were having a lot. Jason's gone till next Wednesday, so I have
next Wednesday.
Yeah, he returns Wednesday, the day I leave.
Oh wow!
And then
Does anybody work anymore?
No, dude, this is the best
they
part.
don't.
This is the best part. We were talking about this yesterday. Then while I'm gone, at some point, Jason's gone another week, and I believe that same week, Christopher Lott is gone.
I am also gone.
I have no idea what's going on.
That's
when
the
we're
week
gone.
that you're calling us up to the big leagues.
I think I didn't put it like that, but I think so.
Do we ever get time off?
Or
you guys?
Do you guys ever get time off?
Yeah. I was just wondering.
I imagine it's got to be in your contract, right? A certain amount of time off.
I mean, I'm taking time off.
Take your time off.
I would think so.
Yeah,
Philly.
Last year, I had to
back.
force Watkins to take time off.
You did. I have.
I legitimately got mad at him.
I have stopped accruing vacation hours a long time ago.
I mean, look, and I'll say this: look, we love our jobs, whatever. Everybody has a nitpick about their jobs, but I have a buddy that works for the state, and I'm constantly, I'm super. Wait, is that flat? Wait, okay.
Just keep it going.
So I'm jealous of him because anytime he wants to take time off, it's really simple. He goes into the app and he takes time off. It's not this. You can't just take time off here. No. I feel guilty. I still do it, but I feel guilty taking time off because you when you're gone, there's like added pressure on everybody.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to
pick
up the thing.
Yeah, and they get a ton of time off.
And they who does?
The state.
Workers. Well,
They sure do.
I came from Tech Life, unlimited PTO.
Which is like, and
but doesn't it come out towards just like they turn that against you?
They do, but some people really didn't care. Yeah. I wasn't one of those people, but some people. But then you can do hybrid stuff where it's, I'm using my PTO for the rest of the day. I'm done after 2. I mean, it's just, does anybody work anymore?
Our fearless program director, I'm sure we'll have it all figured out.
Chris and I,
the guy that works for the state, is listening and just texted me jealous much. Yeah, I am.
Chris and I, we're still trying to set the groundwork, the foundation, the bones. So we don't take a lot of time off. I mean, we're talking constantly. I had to tell my wife it's just Chris.
Well, getting the ball rolling is the toughest part.
Yeah.
Hey man, back in the day, 3-hour show, $22,000 a year, no paid time off, no benefits.
Hey.
I'll take 3 hours.
I would take 3 hours too. That changed.
Remember when that was the thing?
Also, I don't know what our fearless leader is going to do. I'm sure he'll work something out. But the only thing I was thinking about this last night, the only thing I can think of is one of two things. Either you two come up to the mornings and then like Frankie and Brendan in middays, right?
They crush it.
Or one of you guys comes up, like you come up in the mornings and you stay in middays, and then one of them goes with you and one of them goes with you. I don't know. All I got to say is this.
It's above me.
God bless. Good luck. Have fun.
I'm not going to be here.
What was even that sound?
That's Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Is that a Magic Johnson
reference? You've never seen that meme?
No. Yeah. What?
Where it's like, I think it's.
Last night in there, if you want to play that.
Yes.
Okay.
Ingress.
She played Country in the Park this year?
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did.
I played one of the songs.
Hand to God, that's what they told me down there. She played Country in the Park.
I played one of the songs. Look, she had a bad day.
That's what I said. We played her most popular song. We played the chorus, and then was like, well, maybe she's a studio person, so there's a tiny desk concert. She sounded wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody has a bad day.
I don't think it was a bad day. I think she was trying too hard. I think she was trying to be different, and that's what happened.
There are times
when you try and do something. Like sometimes just
how did the sound check?
Just make Apple
Isn't there a sound check though?
That's what I'm saying.
But normally they don't do it. Normally it's not the artist that'll do it.
Look, everybody has it. You get pressure. It's a crazy thing. You fall flat on your face. It's not like she's running for office. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookies. You can spend with family and friends. They really can. But nothing's family and friends more than Crumble Cookies. Take it away. Celebrity birthdays.
Gentlemen, today is Will Ferrell's birthday.
This is a toughie.
How old is Will Ferrell?
Oh God.
So 50s or 60s, yeah?
Yeah, I think he's 63.
That's
a hell of a shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
60. I want to say 61, but I'm going to say 62.
Oh, you do what you want. It's you. God bless you. You do what you want.
I'll say 63.
That's what I said.
Okay, so you said 61, 63.
I said 62.
You said 62, 63, 63.
62 is the closest. Will Ferrell is 57 today.
Oh, sorry, Will.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, Will.
All right.
Better than we thought.
Dave might have one up on you guys. It is Corey Feldman's birthday today. How old is Corey Feldman?
I have one up on them. With Corey Feldman?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm guessing they don't know who Corey Feldman is.
Oh, yeah, good point.
I think he was on one of those VH1 shows.
Did you ever see? He was. Guarantee that. You ever see The Lost Boys?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that. He was one of the Frog Brothers.
License to Drive.
Stand By Me.
Stand By Me. That was a very sad ending.
Corey Feldman is 58.
Corey Feldman is 55.
Our proud partner, 58.
63.
Alan closest, 53 for Corey Feldman.
As I said,
he does not look 53.
No, he does not.
All right, final one here. Former Sacramento King Zach Randolph.
Zebo.
41.
Zebo.
43.
40 on the nose.
We've got a correct answer.
Thank you.
It is.
Yep. Bring it.
Chris Watkins, 43 years old.
Wow. He deserves it. Why I'm wearing a shirt?
Really quickly, Jimmy Johnson's birthday today.
Oh, Jimmy's 74.
Wait, which Jimmy Johnson?
Yeah, I thought the racer.
The coacher?
Football.
The
coacher. Yes, the coacher.
The racer. The coacher.
Yes, the coacher.
What number did you say?
74.
76.
He coaches.
77.
Chris is the closest, 81. Jimmy Johnson.
All right. Coming up on the show, these guys will talk about things. You'll be entertained. They're the fastest growing show and my wife's favorite show in the entire city. Styles and Watkins next.
The only place you'll find Malik Monk is Sacktown Sports.
Oh my, what an athletic move that time by Malik Monk.
Hey Sacramento, it's Malik Monk and you're listening to the home of the Sacramento Kings, Sacktown Sports.
Your local sports leader.